Give it a second. Okay, button's gone red, which means we're live. Hello everyone, welcome to this week's Xbox Live Party Podcast, episode, I believe, 25 now. My name is Ash, aka I'm a Ghostbuster, and I am joined today by our regular cohorts. We've got Slayer Exclusive, the Jinner Gaming, we've got KY Bob, we've got False Alucard, we don't know where Fabio is, we're hoping he'll join us soon, and we have got two special guests. So we have got the New Legal, who the Jinner was on their podcast the other day, so check that out. And we have got Jameson from the Gaming Couch. How is it going, gentlemen?
Hello. Going very well yourself?
It's not red hot this week. There's no sweaty potatoes in sight, so the UK has gone back to sort of its normal temperature, which is great. I'm not literally dripping like last couple of weeks I've been on the podcast, so I'm in good spirits. What about everyone else? How's everyone else doing? How are you, Slayer? You're muted, Slayer, so you're not going to answer anything.
Oh, sorry about that. There you go. Yeah, no, it's going well. It's been a pretty busy week. Not a lot of gaming done, unfortunately, because of work and stuff. I've been pretty busy into the nighttime hours, so haven't done much. But hoping that this week is a little bit better. But how's everybody else?
How are you, Jinner?
Doing pretty good. I'm just it's an honor to be a part of the Xbox Live podcast. Yo, thank you guys for having me on. Ready to have some fun.
Yeah, always nice to have awesome guests.
Yeah.
That's the whole point, like, I don't know. I couldn't be on a podcast where people were like upset about stuff. Like, oh, I'm so angry, like, what? I'm not gonna do that, like, just whatever.
I think you're way too laid back for that, to be honest.
Yeah, we're quite a laid back podcast, aren't we? We just enjoy ourselves, so
Yeah.
But yeah, should we jump straight in with what we've been playing this week? Because I feel like this is going to go on quite a while, especially what we've been playing. There has been a ton of new releases this week, an absolute ton. Bob, do you want to start us off? I wonder what you've been playing.
A lot of flight sim. a lot of flight sim. I've crashed into pyramids, the Sphinx,
Really?
the Eiffel Tower. Tried to find Fabio's house in Brazil. Ended up crashing into the rainforest. So,
Sounds fun.
I want to get the real professional flight simulator controllers.
Yes, I am signed up as soon as Turtle Beach's. Because see, what I like about the Turtle Beach Velocity 1 flight controller is so you got your turboprop throttles, you've got your regular Cessna prop throttles. It's even got a wheel on there to simulate like the real trim settings, and no other controller has a trim setting wheel like that. And it's got, I don't know if those are push buttons or just indicator lights on the dash behind the yoke of that controller, but I'm hoping they're push buttons so I can just hit a button and bring my landing gear up and not have to worry about where that button is on my yoke. Yeah, it looks wild, but I'm signed up to get the email as soon as it goes live, and it's not there yet. So,
So you're having fun then with Flight Simulator. Have you played any of the other new releases this week?
yes, I plugged about 3 hours into the Ascent yesterday. It's a really good game. The shooting mechanics are a little like if you're holding down your right trigger and you're firing, he will not reload the gun when you run out of ammo until you let go of the right trigger. So that takes a little while to get used to. And if you hit left trigger and which looks like you're aiming, so you think it's going to be a more precise shot. No, left trigger just means you aim up, so you miss everything you fire at.
That's so strange.
It took a little while to get used to it after I died like 16 times. But yeah, I ended up having fun with it, and then I wanted to go fly over Europe. So, Flight Sim again, it was.
What about you, Jameson?
Yep.
Have you been playing much this week?
I've been playing Flight Sim. I had to jump in on it. I've always been interested, always been curious about it, so I jumped in. I'm not a big simulation guy to start with, but it's like it's a neat way to explore Google Earth. I find it's a really fun way to explore Google Earth. I put in a few hours, flew over my house, all the fun there. But I've mostly been playing the Ascent and Death's Door. And apart from that, I'm on a real binge of retro style FPSs. So I'm playing a lot of Dusk, Proteus, all sorts of stuff like that.
Nice. Fabio's here. Hello, good sir.
Finally live in Brazil.
How you doing, everyone? Doing good?
What's going on, man?
How's it going?
Thank you for joining us, New Legal, and also Game Couch.
Man, you got it, bro.
Thank you so
y'all
much,
for
everyone.
Thank y'all for
How
having
you
me,
doing?
man.
Yeah, we're doing good. What have you been playing this week then, Fabio? As soon as we're chatting to you now, we may as well jump straight in.
Let's go to business then. Okay.
Yeah.
So I've been playing a little bit of Microsoft Flight Simulator, and to be honest, I think it's quite amazing what they managed to achieve in that game. To be honest, like this is a game that, in terms of all the technology, it screams like next gen, in my opinion. Like, not necessarily just the visuals, because like they are beautiful, but not necessarily amazingly detailed. But for them to use the Google Maps features in that game, I think it's surreal, to be honest. And it looks and plays amazing on the Series S. I also been playing the Ascent. Really fun, simple controls, but hard, to be honest. I died a lot just in the first level. Not the first level, the second. Okay. And I also been playing Halo, like crazy, because fuck you too, Ash. And you too, Gina. I was invited for the deck preview. I played the matches, and man, if you are excited for Halo Infinite, it's okay for you to be excited for Halo Infinite, because it looks and plays really well. I'm really. The quality of just that tech preview is really insane, to be honest. And I hope that most of the stuff that is in there, they keep it for the final release, to be honest.
Good stuff.
And that is it for me.
Yes, sir.
What about you then, Gina? What you've been playing?
I've been playing a lot of Flight Sim, as you guys know. Been
Not
flying all
enough
over.
Halo.
Not enough Halo. I didn't get the invite. Not that I'm bitter. I downloaded a lot of updates for Flight Sim, and the first thing I did, like everyone else, was fly to my house, because why see the rest of the world? I downloaded the UK patch, so I got to see the Principality, or the Millennium Stadium, as we still call it here, because we're set in our ways. It's full beauty, beautiful thing. Yes. And I'm still making my way through Last Stop, which I'm really enjoying. It's a slower paced game. A lot of Annapurna, is it, I think the company's called. A lot of their games are quite similar, but it's slower paced.
Yeah, they did Virginia.
This evening, I was meant to be having a night with the wife. However, the kids have come home instead of staying out, so I think I'm going to stay up till the early hours of the morning playing the Ascent with my mates instead. So, yeah, that's me at the moment. That's all I've been playing. Oh, and Doom Eternal, because I can't get enough of that game.
What about you, New Legal? What have you been playing?
Pretty much the same thing. I tried the flight simulator, which was very intriguing experience. I enjoyed the whole concept of being able to find things on the map. I haven't quite yet understood how to fuel up, but I like the concept of the planes that they give you, how far they can actually go, how fast they can actually go. And, you get to select your few different types of planes that you want to get involved with. I put on the Ascent as well, got to the second board as well. I beat that first boss. It is a little challenging, which I like. I like the gun mechanics in that game. You can't make your man run fast. It's more of an aim type movement game. the aiming of that game is where the speed is at, not so much of the character. So I just want to make sure I point that out to people. And I went back and played some Biomutant, just hoping that they fixed that bug, but they haven't fixed the bugs yet on the consoles yet. I think they just finished it on the PC. So I guess they're working on the console. So I got back off that. I haven't played Death's Door yet, which I'm going to play today as well. And that's about it, pretty much.
Nice.
Just new legal. If you're before you take off, if you click on the left stick, push the left stick in, it'll bring up your the tabs at the top of the screen. The one that is the tab that is a picture of a weight.
Okay.
It looks like a dead weight lift, like a dead.
Right.
You click on that, and that shows you your capacity and where your fuel is, and you can move that slider to 50, 100%. You can fill it all the way up. When you fill it all the way up, though, it's hard. It takes a long time to reach altitude, but it starts you out halfway, and then.
Okay.
So I'm guessing that if you land at another airport before you take back off, you just push in the left stick, go up to that weight, and then just basically tell it, give me a full tank.
That's awesome, man. I didn't know what those meant yet because I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
I've seen it. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It's only there on the console. It's kind of a shortcut access because we don't have, all the keys that you have on a keyboard with our controllers.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think there's on the PC, I think you hit like the G button or something, and it actually calls a gas truck out, and there's no gas truck on the console. You just click that and tell it how much gas you want. Yep.
Nice. Thanks, man, for letting me know that. I'm gonna have some fun now.
He is our resident flight sim expert, KY Bob.
Dude.
By the way, what bugs are you talking about on Biomutant? I've finished that game without any issues on my end, and I played on console.
Good, man. I'm glad you did. I finished it too, but it was those side missions. There's the bandit camps.
Mm-hmm.
The 11 of them. I can only get 10. I can't get the 11th one is buggy, and I'm having problems with getting all my keys. The monsters are not appearing, so it sucks, man.
Oh yeah, the monsters they spawn in random locations, unfortunately, like in that general area. So I had to search around kind of for a little bit sometimes. So that I definitely had issues with. The camp, I think I also ran into an issue, but for me, I don't know what happened, but I logged off and logged back on, and it automatically gave me that camp. It was just empty. And it was just like, okay, here you go. You already cleared it before. I was like, oh, all right.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
You was on your Xbox?
Yeah, Series X, yeah.
I might have to. So what did you do? You just uninstalled it and installed it back on, or what?
Oh, no. I just quit out the game like you normally would. Go to the dashboard, quit, and then log back in and just visit. I got lucky because the last camp that I went to was the one that glitched out for me. So I just went back there, and it just said, "All right, you got it." And then it just gave me literally the next day, it gave me the progress and gave me the achievement.
Right. And did you know the guy Honky, right?
Yeah.
You find him? I can't. When I buy something from it doesn't give me the achievement either. It sucks, man. Right now.
Wow.
For me. Yeah, it sucks, right?
Yeah, that sounds rough. Yeah, I would try to do the same thing though. Maybe restart your console or something like that, or the next day, and hopefully your file isn't corrupted with that glitch.
Yeah. Right, because if that's so, it's just unfortunate. Because I'm definitely not going all the way back. No, definitely. I'm like a level 54 now, man.
Well, there's a New Game Plus mode, so there's a chance that you can go into New Game Plus and just go to where he's at and just do that little quest for him, and then buy from him again, and maybe it'll pop for you.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, the most annoying achievement for that game was finding those guppos and stuff, because you have to go to that one area and then wait, capture 4 or 5 of them at a time, and then wait for 45 minutes actual real time to go back there. So annoying.
Yeah, that's true, man. That game was so long, man. If you played it, you earned every penny. It was that's those type of games where you buy them, your purchase is validated. Like,
yeah.
there's no complaining with me whatsoever.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a lot shorter than it was, so that was a nice surprise. Although I will say
Right.
that one of the things that I had an issue with, at least for me personally, was I felt it was a little bit too recycled. A lot of the content, so there's too much like repeated like visual assets like that they use. It was just like, this is kind of like okay.
Right. And
But I get it. It's a small team though.
Right. And the daytime didn't last so long. It looked so beautiful
Yeah.
during the daytime. You would get
Yeah,
mad. You want to hit that campfire and make it go back to daytime and keep going.
Yeah. Yeah, because it gets really dark at night. It's just like,
It does.
okay, I can't see anything. Great. All right, I
Right.
gotta go back to the campfire. Go to daytime. Yeah.
Exactly. Did you boost all your what I should say, your perks? Did you get every bit of them? Like, even what? That's cool.
Yeah.
I haven't got all of them yet, but I got enough. I got a lot.
Yeah, I got to max level, and then I just cleared out all the bandit camps and got all those extra books. And I don't think I was able to max out every single perk, but I tried to make it so that I have all the perks that I needed for all the achievements. Right. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, I was about to say, is there an achievement for getting a certain amount of perks? Because if there is, Slayer got them all.
Yes.
Yes,
there is.
Yeah, 100% of the game, like achievement wise, I have all of them.
I'm going to give you a shameless plug as well.
You found all the people too, all the hidden people on the map. You found them.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm actually I'm gonna make a video.
People. That's how you get those special weapons. By the way.
I'm planning on making a video for my channel on how to like find all the side characters and how to find all the weapons and stuff like that. So,
well, send me that video, man.
We'll do.
I'm not mad anymore. Send it to me.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: Do you want us all to close the camera so both of you can talk more about Biomutant? Like you just told the whole podcast.
I think we're good. Yeah. Sorry about that. We kind of
make yourselves at home. No worries.
Fabio's the guy who keeps this show within 2 to 3 hours. If it's not for him, we'd be here
we'd be here for about a week. I don't think we'd have ever stopped. We'd have just kept going. What have you been playing this week, Alucard? Then let's get it back on the rails before Fabio gets clipboard out.
Well, of course, I tried Flight Simulator, but I was just using an Xbox controller, and I don't like that. So I'm gonna have to buy a real like professional or somewhere professional, joystick. Looks like it'd be a lot more fun like that. Of course, I was playing Death's Door, which is really cool. Ascent, which is I think better than Death's Door. It's just my kind of game more. Ascent is absolutely amazing. Like I can't believe how good this game looks. Like I was like, damn, like the shadows. Like you see like a shadow of like a like what do you call it? A fan or whatever, like an industrial size fan, and you see the shadow spinning. You're just like, damn. Like so much detail for a kind of a retro game a little bit, it's a game that they don't really make much anymore. So if Diablo looks like this, like Diablo, the new Diablo game, holy damn, dude. Hey, can you imagine that? Like imagine Ascent on a AAA budget.
Yeah.
I can't believe that's made by like 12 people or 14 people.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I think it's 15.
These guys are like industry veterans, though, that they were saying that these guys they know what they're doing, even though it's 12 people. But I mean, seriously, like if they make a sequel, this better be a huge budget game, because they come what they could do with it.
Did anyone here play this game on PC? No, only on console.
No.
So like,
console.
can someone explain to me why the hell is the Metacritic score on PC higher than on Xbox?
We know what that is.
Metro reviewed the Xbox version and gave it a 3 out of 10. That's what happened.
Right. We know what.
Nice. Good. Like again, we don't care about Metacritic, but it baffles me the fact that how awkward this is. Like it's the same game, And for what I played, at least, the game doesn't have any bugs or anything that makes the game unplayable on Xbox.
No.
Like,
Really?
so bizarre.
And it's a budget title as well. You've got to remember, it isn't like a 50 quid full price game. This is like a $29.99 game in the UK.
So true.
That is on Game Pass.
And it's on Game Pass.
So true.
Yep.
Yeah, but Game Pass, you can't give it a review just because it's on Game Pass. But when like for the price it is, you should review it in the line with its price. Like a £30 game made by a small 15-man studio isn't going to be anywhere near a AAA 60 quid game with 100-man dev team. It's just not. But the fact that it's solid enough it just baffles me. So I haven't played it yet though. There's been so much this week. I literally haven't played it yet. So have you played anything else Alucard this week?
I think that's about it.
Alucard was that.
Because like I can't play too many games at one time. I just don't end up finishing them, or I forget. So it's like 2 or 3 games at a time is probably the most I'm gonna play. That's about it for me because I'm back at work, so it's like, of course, my time is down now by a lot. So, oh yeah, what else did I play? I played what's that new platformer, Rajay? It's called. Have you guys tried that?
Raj,
yeah,
something like that. Something like that.
Yeah. I played it the first day it came out. That game is stunning. Over the top, kind of like Zelda-ish game.
Nice.
That game is highly recommended.
That's on my list.
Yeah, I've downloaded it, but I haven't played it yet.
I'm just going through my games. There's one called Omno, OMNO. Have you tried that? It just came out on Game Pass.
Yeah.
That one, you know what it reminds me of? Of what maybe it's like a Zelda game with no combat. So it's like you just interact with nature, and you like have to. It's like puzzles, and then there's animals, and then you get energy from animals, but you don't kill them. You just interact with them. So it's kind of like Zelda, Zelda without combat, but it's an adventure game. So far there's no combat. So
nice.
That's pretty cool. That game's really stunning too.
Nice,
yep, that's it for me.
Have I missed anyone other than myself yet? I'm losing track. There's so many of us.
Oh, I haven't gone yet, but
yeah, go on then,
for me,
Slayer.
It's a really quick one. Like I said, I was kind of busy with work this week, so I only got like maybe 4 or 5 hours total, which is not normal for me. But I pretty much only played like Elder Scrolls Online. I continued my new character with a buddy of mine that I started with, and we actually started. And this is new to me because I've never played it before. We started the following DLC in Dying Light, and that's been pretty interesting so far. Yeah. I'm excited to see like how that story plays out.
With the vehicles and the fields and everything. Yeah, it's a blast.
It's a different kind of experience because you're used to like the compact like buildings and stuff like that, all crowded like in the city, and you could like free run like crazy. But in this one, it's like it really doesn't seem to be much of a point to actually free run. It's just more about the vehicles. But the freaking the nests, those things are scary, man. There's like the volatile nests. There's like 7 or 8 of them. I mean, sometimes even 10 at once. It's like wow. Not used to that at all. That gets insane. That gets a little intense.
Nice. Anything else, or is that about it for not a quiet week?
I do have one more tip for Flight Sim. If you go like False Alucard was saying, with the controls and whatnot, if you go into controller settings and you go to the left, the upper left, it'll say sensitivity. Go in there, and for all the triggers and all the analog sticks, make the reactivity 100%. And it makes the controller much more responsive, and it's a lot more enjoyable.
No.
Leave everything else default. but turn the reactivity up to 100% so that when you hit the stick, your plane moves.
My plane didn't stop moving. I couldn't keep it straight. No matter if I didn't touch anything, my plane would go up or down, and I'm like, just drive straight. I'm not touching you. Drive straight, fly straight. Honestly, if anyone's watching the video to the left was the last bit of flight sim I played the other night when I was playing with Fabio, and I was talking to Bob. You came into the chat at the time, and I decided we were just trying all the different areas. And I had like this jet thing, this like private jet purple looking thing, and it went quite fast. And I was like, we were in Japan or something, weren't we, Fabio? And I was like, that's it, I'm going to Hiroshima because I can. And I didn't do it for like 25 minutes. We were just chatting, but I enjoyed it. And then I couldn't land it. You'll probably see it if it's in this video. I couldn't slow down. And I just ended up circling around until I crashed. I'm terrible at flight sim. I loved it. I mean, it took a lot of time to install, and then you install it, you start it, there's a patch, and then everything needs to be installed and downloaded, which is really annoying. And you can't download the content packs outside of the game. You have to do it while the game's open, which is annoying. And if you go into when I was playing with Fabio, we had to keep pausing the downloads because it just wasn't working.
Yeah.
And the interface I don't like. It's very finicky. It's all right if you're playing solo. Like I jumped into the tutorials and stuff, trying to get two of us in a game. We tried for ages. It was such a pain, but it is really fun. We flew around my local airport and landed. I landed in my house, trying to show Fabio where it was. We tried to find Fabio's house, and we ended up just trying to land on the main roads and stuff, didn't we? And it's a good fun. Like I say, it's like Marmite though. You're gonna love it as it is, or you're going to be like, this hasn't got any action, it's not for me. But it's on Game Pass, so I highly recommend you at least give it a try, because you'll never know unless you at least play it. But I say I've put about 4 hours in so far. I'll probably play it more, but I've been like deep into some other games this week, trying to play through them, trying to clear my backlog for reviews and stuff. So Flight Sim, unfortunately, I haven't played a huge amount. Similar to Gina, though, I have been playing through Last Stop. So I got the 1000G on that this week. So I finished the main game, and then I've gone back in and cleared up playing through the chapters where I'd missed certain things. Some of the achievements are linked to certain decisions, like pick a certain dialogue option or do a certain thing. And when I was playing through it, I was like, I'm not looking at the achievements, I'm just playing it, and I'm going to make my choices. And luckily it's got a chapter select at the end. I didn't know that at the time, but I'm glad it does, because you can literally jump back in, just quickly play and get the achievement. So I think I put about 8 hours in all in that this week and last week, and I've really enjoyed it. It's very sort of Life is Strange and Tell Me Why, that sort of thing. Telltale games, sort of walking around, no action as such. You're just sort of interacting with things and having the conversations, and there's a few sort of like quick time events, but the story's pretty good. I cannot complain about that. I've really enjoyed it, apart from the last chapter. So if any of you have played this and got to the end, it goes from being like a 9 out of 10 to like a low 8, 7 out of 10, because the last chapter is stupid, and it goes from being like a horror-y sort of supernatural thing to just sci-fi, and I didn't like that. So I'm not explaining anything. I'm not giving away any plots. I liked how the story was progressing, and you get right to the end, and it's like it felt like an episode of Star Trek or something. It was weird. You'll see when you get to the end, and it just feels like the last chapter, they've like crammed so much in so much happens in such a short time. I feel like that could have been expanded into a couple of chapters, and it feels rushed, unfortunately. So yeah, but I've really enjoyed it. It's one of my favourite games this year, apart from the dud ending. I've played some. People are going to be like, what have you been playing this week? I played Balan Wonderworld. I got that in the sale, and I got it for my kids because my kids want to play games with me, and then my daughter likes gaming with my son and stuff, but she's not as skilled as he is at the moment. He's a dab hand with gaming and stuff like that, but she doesn't get on with it as much as him, and so I got that because literally you've got movement and one button does everything. So it's not that bad. If you're a kid, you'll enjoy this a lot more than an adult will. So it's aimed at a certain target, and I think it works quite well with that. We played Halo, which was fun, multiplayer.
Yep.
Not infinite though, because 343 hates us UK-based people that subscribed. Isn't that right, Jenna? We're just stuck here and like sad Keanu on his bench.
My brother-in-law got accepted, and I've just been with him before I came on here to watch the rugby, and we were having a few drinks, and all he was telling me is how good it is. And all I could think is, I just hate you so much right now. Lovely guy. Unfortunately, he got onto Halo and I didn't. So he has that going against him.
Yeah, that's it. He's dead to you now. He's dead to you.
Yeah.
It's definitely been a busy week in these Xbox streets. That's definitely true.
Oh, there's just too much.
So
There's
much-
too
Yeah.
much to play. I've downloaded everything that's come out this week. The Ascent, Omno, that Raja or however you pronounce it. I still haven't got around to it because I've been playing so much other stuff. It's just mad.
Right.
And then the biggest disappointment, I've told you about this, Fabio. I got given a review copy for Freddy Spaghetti 2.
Oh yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's Game of the Year 2021 I was expecting, and it's
It
broke my
was
heart.
supposed to be Game of the Year.
Yeah, Freddy Spaghetti 1, if you don't know what this is, it's a game where you basically play as a living spaghetti, and you just sort of do all sorts of stuff, and then you go back in time in the original, the army are attacking you and all sorts. It's amazing. It's stupid. It's like 2 hours of just weird fun. Then they've brought a sequel out, and I was like, yes, I'm finally ready. This one is like an hour long, if that, about him going to work every day, and that's it.
What?
He goes to
Come
work,
on.
he does some stuff, he gets fired, and he goes home. Nothing exciting happens. Half the levels are repeats. Like there's a Pong minigame, a table football minigame, and like a printer repair or like a server repair minigame. They get repeated 3 times. So out of 40 levels, I think 12 of the levels are like repeats of each other. And then some of the levels are literally walking from one side of the screen to the other. I mean, it must be about 5 or 6 levels. Whereas the first one was so stupid and crazy, and there was like
First
that
one had that
running.
too, though.
Yeah, but there was a lot more to it. Like you were running away from
Yeah.
those rockets on the bridge, and you had that platforming in space, and you had that one where you were fighting the gunfighting and stuff. This one's got rid of all the interestingness, and it feels like a cash grab. It is a cash grab. It feels like, you know, when you love a film franchise, and then they bring out a sequel that no one asked for, no one wanted, and it's rubbish. It's like that. This is like the female Ghostbusters movie or the newer Star Wars films. This is how bad it is. It's terrible.
To sum up everything, Freddy Spaghetti tasted the dark waters of Red Alika games.
Yeah, honestly, they're just flogging me. At least the achievements, you had to finish every level in the game to get all the achievements.
Child.
But it's terrible, and I don't get why. And I when I do review videos, I'm grateful that I get given keys.
Okay.
So I try and at least find positives in everything I play, even if it's only the smallest thing. The video that's coming out next week has no positives. I rip it to shreds. The only good thing about it is it's got full voice acting, and the controls play the same as the first one. But in every aspect, it is worse than the first game. It's terrible, and I'm so disappointed. I even posted on Twitter how excited I was to start playing it, and who'd have thought a game about a spaghetti that's alive would disappoint me and make me feel so sad in life.
Hey, should we introduce our next special guest, the creator of Freddy
Spaghetti?
Spetty?
Yeah.
Well, they're not going to send me a review copy for the third one, are they? I can imagine, but honestly.
To be honest, I don't even know why you are going to post a video review of this game. You just made your review right here. That's it.
The review's worse.
Just clip that.
It's
just
worse.
clip this part.
It's like 9 minutes of me ranting about how bad it is and how disappointed I am.
Damn.
So,
but to be honest, man, it just feels good to hear people talking about the gaming experience for a change. I'm already stunned at y'all's show. I commend you guys. Because this is exactly, you guys are not even portraying what we do. You guys are personifying exactly how we sound, exactly how we do as gamers. Y'all are dead on it. And I don't want you guys to change, man. Don't change this aspect, because we need more shows like this, man. And I'm humbled to be a part of it. I mean, you guys, this guy over here bringing up bringing up the menu screens, bringing up where I need to go, because this guy's been playing this game. That's the thing. Been playing the game. Y'all, he comes down here to this guy, and this guy's down here telling us about, he's actually reviewed it, like my man from Brazil said. You literally reviewed it without even, it didn't even hit your mind, because you were just letting everybody know your experience. That's it.
I mean, dude,
that's what gamers do.
I podcast while I'm sitting here playing. I'm flying a plane right now.
I'm going to upset you all, but I'm playing as well right now, but it's not
Come on, you're the host. You can't do
that.
I've been told I have to collect things from my wife's island, so I'm doing what I'm told, and I'm picking up my fossils for the day. So
man, I love it, man. Y'all got y'all Xbox gear on, everything, man. I'm digging it all, man. It's all good.
This is I think it's amazing. That somehow just happened by pure accident. Normally, none of us have it on.
Exactly.
That's the best part.
I will say, you legals, speaking about being humbled, I went on his show the other night and sit in free lobby with him and J-Rock. I was just like, holy shit. J-Rock trending on Twitter today. And it's me, like, and it's funny because we're so, like, here we have like a list of what we're going to talk through and what we're going to do. And I joined him and U-League was like, right, I appreciate you got to go off soon. 30 seconds, I'm going to chuck it open to you. Talk about what you want. Go. It's like, hello.
yeah. Because
it was so much fun, though. I really enjoyed it. It's brilliant.
Right, because, you know, with you guys, I like the way y'all construct your show. You do the topic. All right. And there's nothing wrong with doing the topic. There's nothing wrong with that. But I've seen y'all's topic. And I'm not going to tell anybody that hasn't been a part of y'all's show about it. But I'm going to say this one thing. I was highly impressed at y'all's homework. You guys, I'm sitting here on your show, but I'm actually validating y'all's style. And I'm highly impressed. And I want the Xbox community to know that these guys here, they're putting their work in. Regardless if you want to regardless if y'all want to show y'all support to their show or not, I already have been impressed before their show. I've already seen what they do before the show, and I'm highly impressed. And these guys deserve all the support that they can get. I'm humble. Like I said, I'm over here in the United States. This guy's down here in Brazil. We're the Americas. They just literally filled the Americas up with 2 people. They're over here in the UK doing their thing. And like I said, man, we're going to all try to find that Japanese Xbox gamer, man, if we can. We're going to find them. Wherever you are, we're going to find you. And hopefully we can get them on our shows, you know, because we want to embody the essence of the Xbox community. And I'm telling you guys, man, I'm highly impressed. I want y'all to feel like you guys are doing a good job hanging there together. Keep doing what y'all doing, man, because I've never been on y'all show. All right, this is coming from somebody that's never been on y'all show, and I'm highly impressed. You guys got it, man. Keep doing it because it's different. We need something to be different around here.
Like, just wait till the end, and then you'll be like, "Oh my god, I can't wait to get the hell out of here."
Yeah, like New League. Let's be honest. We are not doing a good job. You are just a bunch of assholes just talking shit about video games. That's the podcast. That's the podcast itself. Okay.
Nah, man. Y'all are doing good, man. I'm telling you, you're doing good because it's all authentic. None of you guys out here being fake and phony and being who you are. And I'm seeing that stuff. And it's good to hear it. That's what I'm saying. It's good to hear it. It's a breath of fresh air. It really is, man. It really is, because we're saturated. We're heavily saturated. And like we were saying before, especially with people who are not real Xbox fans, it's easy to use Xbox, right? You can build an empire easily by just dissing Xbox. You're going to get viewers. If you make a show, be silly, dissing Xbox, you're going to blow up. It's just that simple.
Yeah.
It's just that simple. Because Xbox is the easy target community, right? The gaming media doesn't like us. And we were just talking about Metacritic. We're the joke. But guess what? To me, Xbox and its community is where it's at. And I think that's why it gets made fun of the most, because like I said, gaming has levels to it, and we all respect it, right? Beginners, casuals, hardcores, elites, and pros. This is reality, people. We're not making that up. So what does it look like? Do you really think I'm taking casual seriously, when a casual community is telling me what I need to do to be validated as a gamer. This is where we're at today. You know, this is literally where we're at today. You go on YouTube, right? You can look at this stuff. You go to YouTube, you look at the Xbox channel. It's 4-something million subscribers. You go to the PlayStation YouTube channel. It's like 13, 14 million. So so if you really want to do this, it's easy, y'all. You see? You know the audience that you need in order to, you know, do what you need to do to blow up. But real gamers do what you guys do. Notice, I'm listening to all you guys. One of the first things y'all said was, man, I really hadn't had the chance to go full in. I'm maybe tomorrow because I'm off, because I have a real job. You know, I work. You see what I'm saying? I provide for my family or whatever. And so when I get the time, I'm gaming. That's real talk. You know, that's real talk. Some people are even ashamed to even talk about they have a family. The kid runs in, they get mad at the kid. What are you mad for? It's what we are. It's who we are, right? We're gamers. We used to be little just like that. Hey, look, we didn't have, my dad worked all day long. I wish my dad did have a show where I could run in there and see my dad having a good time talking about gaming. This is beautiful stuff, man. I'm telling y'all, it's good to see y'all doing what y'all doing, man. Really.
I think Xbox has become a huge social family or friends, you know, because of Game Pass. Everybody's united, you know. So it's like you can have like game nights with like your community and like people that you know more than anybody ever could.
Yeah, the days of worrying about whether or not your buddies had a game installed, those days are over because everybody has access to all the content.
You don't split the community as much anymore, you know. I think it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, one thing that I find amazing is that about how we can be more united thanks to gaming is like one post that a long time ago Ash made on our Twitter page saying that thanks to Xbox I met strangers that became friends. Like that's what happens. That's what happened with me and him. Like this podcast started because of my friendship with Ash. We met because I was looking for people to try to play Crackdown 3's multiplayer.
Right.
And here we are. Like it's really crazy.
Right.
Yeah. That's how it started, wasn't it? It was just us gaming, playing all sorts. Alucard joined us and we were playing stuff, and then we started this podcast, and we've slowly but surely added everyone on. And some reason people watch us. So a big shout out while we're here to everyone who's in the chat who has been chatting. So there's people like the Stone King X, Stubbs Gaming, Adam Reynolds. Big thank you to you guys for at least coming in and
so much,
commenting, spending your Saturday afternoons or evenings if you're in the UK, listening to us lot of ragtag gamers chatting about spaghetti, sweaty potatoes, Biomutant, Flight Sim, all that sort of stuff. Thank you very much for being a part of it. Like I say, we just do this for fun. We're not here to. We're not making the big bucks. We're not here to sort of like be huge, it's like media influencers or stars or anything. We're just doing it for just a love of it, really.
We never started this with the intention of gaining money.
There you go.
There we go.
Right, shall we actually get into the news this week?
I got some love out here.
All we want is KY Jelly sponsorship money. Let's be real.
Okay.
We may blow up if that happens.
For the right reasons, though.
We are still waiting for the sponsorship from Toys for Bob. Okay, just gotta put that.
And the KY Jelly and KFC, we're still waiting.
He's calling it out, ain't he? He's putting it out there.
That's so much paperwork, guys. Man.
Bob, you gotta start doing your flight simulator tutorials on your channel, man. You're gonna blow up.
Man, no doubt, bro. I ain't saying that. You need to make a video, bro. I'm telling you right now, man. Go make you a video, bro. Exactly.
Yeah.
Awesome, bro.
Yep. I'll do that tonight.
Man, so many people need to know. Awesome. There's so many people that don't know how to do that game. Yeah.
Right.
I'm one of them.
Yeah, me too. I won as well.
Man, and I'm good. I get up in the air, I'm good. That's about it. I can't tell you what to do after that.
I'm actually kind of disappointed in Turtle Beach right now because I thought their flight setup would be ready for launch, and I've still not got an email saying it's ready for pre-order.
Wow.
So yeah.
So if they want to get in our good graces, they can email sponsorship at XBL Party Podcasts, or just message us on Twitter. Nothing fancy, just slide in there. We'll be fine.
Exactly.
Bob will sit there with it all on, with his Top Gun helmet and everything. He'll love it. It's all good.
Yeah.
Right, I will get into the news before.
Gaming Couch is just silent. He's just thinking, "What the hell am I doing?" He like, this guy don't stop.
Not at all. I'm just listening to the great conversations. I'll jump in when I have something to add that'll add to the conversation.
Also, Fabio is stopping us going on topic. What the hell is happening right now?
Yeah, Fabio, I was trying to get us back, stop us being derailed, and you've ruined it. So
you had one job, man. You had one job.
That's it for me. That's the end of the podcast.
That's because he was late. He got thrown off.
That's it. Yeah, he was late. He threw us off by being late. Then he just comes in, doesn't keep us on track. Oh my god. So, right, so we'll jump into the news. Apologies to everyone who was like, Jesus Christ, it's been 49 minutes and they haven't even started on the news. We are gonna. Right, so, good news. We're going to get good news out of the way first this week. So, Xbox Series X and S, it has been announced by Microsoft as the fastest selling Xbox console series ever, basically, in the Xbox history. So, as part of the company's earning call earlier in the week, the Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella basically announced that it had sold more X and S consoles life to date than any previous Xbox console generations, with demand for the consoles continuing to exceed available supply. And there is some bad news. They're expecting this chip shortage to probably drag out into the sort of 2023. But they did give some news. The company's gaming revenue in the recent financial quarter was up $357 million or 11% year on year. And that's driven largely, obviously, by sales of Xbox consoles, obviously because there's new ones. Hardware sales were up 172% year on year, which obviously is because of that as well. And Xbox content and services revenue was down $128 million or 4%. But now this sounds bad, but really this is just because there were fewer third-party games coming out in the last, obviously, quarter because so many delays. So that basically means Microsoft, with their services and stuff, they get like a 30% cut of all game sales on the store. And obviously, if there isn't any games coming out, there's a lot less 30% coming in. So I wouldn't worry about Microsoft. It's all good news, really, especially if it's only 4% in such troubling times. And they didn't provide any Game Pass numbers, but they did predict low double-digit growth for gaming revenue in the coming quarter as well. So all good stuff. And I think they also announced it had hit 6.5 million console sales of the new consoles X and S. So fantastic to say these consoles are selling out pretty much all the time, especially the X. And demand is massively high. It's good to see Xbox still doing strong, especially with all the people saying Xbox is getting out of the console business. They're doomed. Yep. They're just going to streaming, all that rubbish. So it's a really good time for Xbox in general. It's also been a good time for PlayStation, as they announced they hit 10 million consoles, which is fantastic for PlayStation. So gaming at the moment is booming. The Switch is doing well. The Xbox is doing well. PlayStation's doing well. Stadia maybe have 5 players, so that'll be doing well. But consoles themselves are doing well, even in such a weird time. I mean, you've got to think, everything boomed last year, game sales and stuff, because COVID happened. We were all stuck at home. We all had nothing to do apart from play games and chat to each other and do nothing. Now we're all slowly going back into the workplace, so there's less time to game, less free money, because like I say, we're not all getting furlough money and stuff like that. So I expect the numbers to slightly drop from last year, but they seem to be doing really, really fantastic, to be fair. So what do you guys think on this? Does anyone have any comments on the news that obviously about PlayStation's numbers and Xbox's numbers for consoles sold?
No,
It's just a good time to be a gamer. Simple as
that
that.
10 million consoles. How many of those are still sitting in scalpers' hands?
Maybe
a quarter, isn't it? They reckon there's about a quarter that haven't been activated.
Yeah,
That's right. Haven't even been activated.
There was
We're not even trying to fan into that nonsense, man. No, we know exactly why that got dropped, man. And it's all good, but it's smoke and mirrors. But it's all good, you know. At least we know that with Xbox, with Switch, it's validated numbers, whether it's retail sold or from the retail to the customer. It's just that, like I said, if Xbox is doing well, we know for a fact that everybody else is. It's never that way. It's never the turnaround, right? They would love to hear that Xbox isn't doing good. We know this. They've admitted it. They don't even want it around. We've got the receipts for that. You know, it's a shame. We have people in the industry that literally have said that. As much as I've never owned a PlayStation, as much as I've never cared about their games like that, and I played the PlayStation games, don't get me wrong, but I've never had it in my heart for it to just disappear. That's not up to me. If PlayStation disappears, it's going to be because Sony as a company failed to come up with ways to make it succeed. It's not about me not liking it. So I don't wish doom on any gaming system because it has gamers that like it. You know, I got friends that love PlayStation. There's nothing, you know, that like we were talking about before. There's nothing wrong with that. That's crazy to even have that in your heart, to even have that in your mind. Like that's crazy. But it's just, unfortunately, people, it's just the way Sony operates. That's what they do. It's just why they'll get sued. It's not. They lie. It is what it is. But it's still good news. We know that. Hey, at some point, we know that they're doing well with the PlayStation 5, even though that console is not doing well. It's not. It was rushed. There was a lot of things involved in that. But there's one thing that the whole industry knows for sure. That when Microsoft had their vision to set out for this next generation, they came through with it in flying colors. That's undeniable now.
well said.
And like I say, PlayStation also announced some of the game sales this week, and they've been quite good actually. Some of them, like Miles Morales, 6.5 million copies. That's really, really good. I mean, that does cover PS4 and PS5, but that's not a bad number.
Mm-hmm.
MLB The Show 21, 2 million on PlayStation. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, 1.1 million, and that's over 10% of, that's like 11% in it basically, of the entire PS5 player base have gone out and bought that.
Considering the best Ratchet and Clank last gen only sold 4 million on a console of 114, that's such a good attachment rate for Ratchet and Clank. This is going to be probably, as the generation goes on, their best one so far. So it's good to see for them.
And then Returnal, they announced that it had hit 560,000, which is pretty good. I mean, I couldn't vouch for everything, but it doesn't. It's not the worst numbers I've ever heard. Especially with all the negative press it had when it launched with the bugs and stuff. I mean, obviously it was praised, but it did have a lot of issues bug-wise when it first came out. So it's just good to see sales numbers. I'd love Xbox to do sales numbers. I assume they don't because obviously Game Pass, whether you want to admit it or not, will probably reduce some of the games as original sales. They'll probably sell more in the long run, but from that early first week, a lot of people will probably jump on and Game Pass it, and then they'll pick it up if they enjoy it. But it can't be bad. We're all doing well. It's nice to see these numbers growing across the board everywhere. There's like literally.
I gotta be honest about the return on numbers because it makes me think that like we got 560k units sold out of a console base of 10 million. Like, it makes me think that the most important thing it's not the amount of consoles that you can sell. It's the amount of active users that are on that console. Like it doesn't matter if you sold so many consoles if you don't have that same amount of people playing it.
Brazil, you just took what I was gonna ask the panel if I may add to what I was saying, and I know I was long-winded on the first one, so I won't be long-winded on this one. Let somebody else say something. But you nailed it, and that's you just explained the mystery of this. We were just talking about the 6 million, right? Miles Morales.
Yep.
And you just said, that's the combined between the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 5, right? When we look at the numbers, that's 115 million consoles out there. If 3 million only played that game, it can no longer be about how many consoles they sold.
Yep.
Now go back to Game Pass. I'm putting on our thinking caps, right? Everybody's freaking out, right? Even they got articles out now that are attacking Game Pass. Well, how does Microsoft make money? I don't think it's really about how Microsoft makes money. They're a $2 trillion company. Go figure that one out. Go figure out how they make $2 trillion. All right? Now we'll slow it down. Do you think that they're worrying about their pockets? No. This isn't about how much money we can make. Game Pass wasn't built off of that. Game Pass is about saving devs. I want everybody to remember the developer team called Ninja Theory. What was the main reason why they're working for Microsoft? Because there were devs in the industry that were well known that were suffering. Microsoft wrote about it and put it out there and said, we wish we could have all of them come and work for us. Unfortunately, we can't. We're seeing a problem that's going on in the industry that's undercover. Nobody wants to talk about it. But devs aren't making their money. They're not being able to take care of themselves or their families. And so they got Ninja Theory. And we was like, wow, we were blown. And what was the first thing Ninja Theory did? They went on YouTube and talked about it.
Yeah.
They talked about it. They talked about why they went to Microsoft. It's broken down and it's from their own mouths.
They were
So
about
when we
to
hear
face
Game Pass,
annihilation.
right, when we hear Game Pass, we constantly keep hearing about how devs love Game Pass because now they can eat. Prior to when it was all about numbers, like he was saying, they were so stressed out because they had to hit a certain number. And the number, it's to hit a certain number to make a company look good. But it's not a certain number that really needs to be hit for them to be successful. Think about it, it's just like movies. What are the movies are doing now? They're making low budget, what's the word I'm trying to come up with? Marks, bullseye marks, So production marks. So they're making a movie like 35 million. It costs them 35 million. If they do that, they know it's easier to hit that 35 million. And if they sell 100 million, they have made their money. But if I make a big movie, it costing me 200, 300 million, it's hard because it may not hit that. And now I lost all my money in production costs. And you get what I'm saying? So it never really is about that. It's about your projection and your engagement. So I'm making a game I want people to play 5 years from now.
And you see that too. I mean, because you've got these developers, and yes, you've got to make money. That's what everybody's in it for, is to make money. But you have your passion projects that your developers are afraid to do because that might not make money. And Microsoft has given these developers the opportunity with titles like Grounded to, that's a passion project. 10 people worked on that game. But Bethesda getting away from ZeniMax is the best thing that ever happened to Bethesda. ZeniMax is the reason why we got Fallout 76, and it was a disaster.
I watched
cash out because they knew they were being sold.
I watched what happened the other day about the original Prey 2, and basically how the upper management of Bethesda is the reason we never got that really awesome looking proper follow-on sequel to Prey. And then we ended up getting a good game nonetheless by Arcane, but it wasn't Prey. It was a totally different game with the name slapped on. I highly
Yep.
recommend
So
it by Matt,
sad we
Matt
never got
McMuscle. Check it out. It's a really good video. But this is the thing, that because they're like the corporate overlords had them, that game literally was killed off because of money fightings, basically, and people trying to buy them, and they didn't want to be bought. They just wanted to make a great game, and then the world lost out on an amazing looking Prey 2, which we all wanted.
I love the original Prey with the portals and the
Yeah.
platforms. You could walk up the wall, and all of a sudden you were upside
Yeah.
down, and you.
And then you went in that little.
You
You ended up on that little ball. Yeah, that was ace. I love that game. Yeah.
On his desk, he had a map of a world, didn't he? And then you walked through the portal, and you were on his desk in the little world, and the giant aliens run in. And,
It's such a good game. It's a shame. It's one of
And-
those games that's probably lost to the ages that we'll never get a proper true follow-on
But-
sequel for.
You never know.
To touch one more time on what New Legal was saying. Microsoft has told these developers, we're not buying you so that we can force you to do what we want you to do. We are buying you so that you have the resources and the finances to do what you want to do and to do it well, comfortably, without fear of going under and nobody having a job.
Yep.
Yeah, and
Like
another
this-
thing that I wanna add, and we've spoken about this before on like some previous episodes. The whole thing about whether one company or the other does better or whatever. I don't think that really matters. And just to kind of like touch up on what New Legal said, I definitely agree. Like I'm definitely in the camp of people that says, why would you want one or the other to flop? Like why would you want them to disappear? Like that's what their competition is what's breeding innovation. So it's it's forcing them to stay on their toes and to kind of like just be always like, okay, what's the next best thing that we can do to stand out, or to because if they were the only ones, they wouldn't care. They'd be like, all right, well, we're the only ones, so we just do whatever the hell we want. We there's no need to like try. I mean, not to use it as an example, but like EA, like what do they do with their games? They don't do anything. Like Madden, FIFA. It's the same recycled crap every year because they have no competition. There is no other FIFA game. There is no other soccer game that is their competition. So they're just like, whatever. We'll just basically release the same game every freaking year, and who cares? Because we're the only ones. So.
To be fair, though, PES have reinvented themselves this year and actually done the correct thing by making it a free-to-play online game that'll get updated every season. And they've been absolutely trashed for it. People have attacked them for it being online and multiplayer and less offline, even though it means you don't have to buy the same game every year at full price just to get some stats and rosters changed. And that's it's a shame that they have to, because I thought it was such a good idea for football games and stuff, but it does sound like it's not going to be as popular as it should be.
Well, they did it last year where they didn't release a new game. They kept the same base game. You just paid to have new kits and new stadiums. And then, this year they've decided the game is free. You'll get updates throughout, and you can subscribe for certain things to buy. I think they make enough money off their version of Ultimate Team, which they can just subsidize now. And the idea is if more people jump to you because you're free, more people are going to spend that money on those little loot crate type mechanics. And it's great if you're someone who just wants to play, like Ash was saying, an offline mode or the occasional online game. You're laughing because you're getting a game for free. But if you're the type of person who likes doing these microtransaction type games, you're just getting what you had before, except you're not having to pay 60 quid or 70 quid up front to be able to do it. So you're saving money as well. So it's a win-win for everyone almost, other than, EA, because EA might have competition for once.
Hopefully.
FIFA's been dominant since the PS2 days. Pro Evo was bigger than FIFA, and they just went out and bought off all the Pro Evo devs, and they joined FIFA. And then 360, PS3 time, FIFA became dominant, and it just has been since. No one can match it anymore.
Right.
Ash, you're muted.
Ash, you're muted.
I'm professional today.
Professionalism.
I said let's jump on to the next topic and keep the conversation going. Before we do, I'm going to add something I totally forgot to write on the list today, and I've even got it already. The Evercade console that I have spoken about many times, the handheld retro console that uses physical media, has just released 2 new cartridges this week. We have got the Indie Collection, which has 14 games on it, including all sorts of stuff, including Foxyland, which is currently on Xbox. And if you're an achievement hunter, you've probably played Foxyland, but you can now play it on a handheld with a load of other games. And also a Worms Collection 1, which has 3 games, which is Worms, Worms Armageddon, and Worms Blast. Mine have just turned up today. Got them from Funstock Gaming. Highly recommend checking them out. And like I say, these are literally physical cartridges that you plug into a handheld device. It comes with a manual, it comes with posters, it comes with stickers. This isn't a promotional thing, but I love to promote.
Is this a sponsorship?
No, I wish it was, because I absolutely love this handheld, and they're getting a physical home console. But when cool stuff comes out that's legal retro, where you can get official games re-released on the go, I just want to shout out to them, because like I say, everyone needs to support this. We need more retro games in our life. So Evercade, that's cartridge 17 and 18 are out this week. So always
week
good.
It feels more and more.
Yeah,
every week it feels more and more like we're sponsored by Evercade, but Ash isn't telling us.
I wish. Do you know what?
In this vibe.
I am just to let everyone know. I have announced this last week. I'm going to be doing a separate retro podcast to sort of eventually move all my retro talk out to just focus on modern gaming here. So don't worry, people. Once this new podcast launches, I'll shut up about retro a lot more. Unless it's Xbox retro, I will shut up about it on the podcast. But other than that, check them out. Playdate as well, that's sold out to pre-orders. Don't know how, but if you're in the UK, you probably missed out because it crashed for all the UK buyers on that as well. So unlucky. Next bit of news. I've put Ps5 beta testing SSDs.
Jesus.
That's a bit clickbait, but it's not really, because they have literally opened up beta testing for their internal SSD expansion, and Seagate have announced a compatible SSD. I can't remember the name of it because I don't care, but it's nice that after 9 months now, they're finally getting expandable storage, so you can finally have 7 games on your console without having to delete something. So why it took so long?
What is the price?
You can get different sizes. The one good thing about this is you can get different sizes. So you can go from 500 gig all the way up to 4 terabytes, which is great.
Nice,
but the 1 terabyte one is $280, I believe, for the 1 terabyte Seagate internal. I don't know the full details. I've read all sorts of stuff. There's going to be multiple companies bringing them out. They haven't announced them all yet. You have to put your own thermal paste on some of them as well, which that blow my mind. I mean, I know computer software and programs, but actual wires and stuff, I try and not touch because I'll probably blow it up. But yeah, so some of these SSDs that are coming out may require the user to actually thermal paste it themselves. So good luck with that. This is one thing I really enjoy about the Xbox. This isn't me shitting on PlayStation. This is just those little plastic cartridges you can plug in and out and literally take one out while the console's on and put it in a different console, and it works. Yes, they're slightly more expensive. The plug and play aspect of it is fantastic. I mean, it's just accessibility and usability. I mean, it means I could be playing and, oh crap, I need some extra space, grab a hard drive, plug it in. Do you know what I mean? While the console's on, I don't have to switch it off. I don't have to delete anything. I don't have to power down, unplug, and unscrew my console. I can literally just plug it in that little slot at the back. And I think it just shows off the sort of the smart and the sort of exciting plan they've done. There, you see, they've thought about it.
Off the back of my Xbox Series X, just pulled it out. That's it.
Okay, so let's put it on the list. What do you need to? This is not to trash the PS5. I'm just doing a joke, okay? Don't bring console.
So Fabio hates PlayStation. You heard it here.
Maybe.
Yep.
But like things
Public
that
announcement
list of
right
things
now.
for you to play on PS5. $500, a screwdriver, and thermal paste. Okay, that's it.
Well,
Nice.
like Stubbs has said in the comments, Stubbs Gaming
Oh,
said
boy.
that these are actual PC SSD sticks. They're
Yeah.
not official PlayStation
Nice.
ones. These are third-party manufacturers, so there isn't a PlayStation one announced at the moment or even coming. It's only open to beta testers, so it's not open to the general public yet. And also, they have said like there is like a sort of disclaimer that basically says if your PlayStation blows up, dies, bricks, murders you, it's not their responsibility, it's your own fault. So, which is crazy. They're like, put an M2 SSD in here, it may kill your console. But, hey.
Thanks for clarifying.
The one thing I find incredible is the amount of defense people are coming out with for it online, because when it first got announced, the console, and they said about the SSD, they said it's going to be expandable, it's going to take a while, we're going to test loads of them, our SSD is so fast, it's going to take years before that technology comes around, which it wasn't, it was bullshit. And then they were like, we'll give you a comprehensive list of all the ones you can just put in, and day one you'll be fine. And then it's like, what, 8-9 months later, and they're like, it's open for beta test. We can't tell you what works, and if it breaks, it's your fault. Off you go, have fun. Also, you need a heatsink if it hasn't got one. Have fun putting that in. And then these people are like, oh yeah, it's just like doing a PC. I don't see what your problem is. It's like, my problem isn't that you have to do it. My problem is they told you they were testing this, and they would have a comprehensive list of everyone that works. Instead, you're the beta testers, and if it breaks, it's your fault. Like, it's...
Yeah. You know what? You know what my problem is? You know what my problem is? And y'all, everybody knows I don't care what they think. Okay, first of all, I don't care what they think. And this is not to bring any negativity to you guys' channel. But this is why gamers have always been truth speakers. We got to be truth speakers, regardless of your feelings, Okay, you can't be hypocritical. That's a real word. Can't be hypocritical. And you can't always want to justify your reasons when it's not looking good for you. As if everything that you're supposed to like is not supposed to have issues. But just like Gina was saying, okay, ever since I've been an Xbox gamer, I've taken it about my batteries, about my controller right here. All right? I'm going to show everybody, pop it open, that's it. Does it look like I got batteries? Does it look like I got batteries? Okay. Does it look like I got batteries? Right? So I understand the little weak jabs that goes on in the gaming industry. I understand it. Now, what if I had batteries? PlayStation 5 has just validated me that it's okay to have always had batteries all along. See, when you play the stupid role, 10 times out of 10, it's called what goes around comes around, always happens. When you play yourself in life, it doesn't matter how you play yourself. That's the funny part about this, right? Because people have been playing themselves over gaming. For heaven's sake, they've been playing themselves over gaming. Something as simple as gaming, we have made a big deal out of battery, right?
Yep.
Now watch how this works.
There we have.
Yeah, watch how this works. This is funny. So now, people, all you Xbox fans out there who use batteries for your controller, or you pop, watch how fast this is. No screws. Take it out. I put a battery in, and I close it. You are validated today. It took me less than 20 seconds to do that. So, for that person that said that, well, what's the big deal? Because we do this with PCs. Flip that right back around. I throw the reverse card. We're playing Uno. So what's the big deal? We're just changing batteries out for an Xbox controller because that's what gamers do, right? All right. Now that we moved on to that, right? We got that out of the way. That's dead now. That narrative's dead. What I find so funny is how the industry doesn't want to recognize the work that Microsoft did. The fact that Sony doesn't have their own, okay? This generation, Microsoft came prepared. Yes, it says Seagate, but this was a partnership because in this SSD, it has the features for the RDNA 2.0 features of my Series S or my X. So when I can plug this into my S, the same chip, and it will work perfectly with the same games that I have on my X. Because why? Microsoft and Seagate co-engineered this. Unlike Sony, okay, that doesn't make their own chip, didn't do anything. This is why you have a third-party situation going on. And I want to put emphasis on this. Another thing that made it look so horrible was that an article came out that Sony threw this information out in the industry, in the gaming industry, without letting anyone know. No one knew that this was going to happen. So the SSD people in the gaming industry on the PC side, that's why you have this big disclaimer and things. Because now they have to literally beta test this thing and figure out how to make it compatible, how to make their chips compatible to this console. Because Sony didn't give them the memo. Sony didn't let nobody know anything. Hey, we're going to do this. They just did it. And why did they do it? Because like my man said, in the beginning, you made the SSD a big deal. You made it seem like SSDs never existed. You made it seem like this was going to be the greatest thing to mankind. You made it seem like this was the Lord's Supper, right? So now that you made it that way, it took you 9 months. You had 9 months. See this? I want everybody to see this. You had 9 months to get it right, but yet you lied. And now you want your fan base to beta test this thing. If it messes up your console, guess what? We can't help you, which is Sony DNA. That's Sony at its finest, right? The customer service sucks. Look, this is just truth. So, like I've said on my show, I'm going to say on this show, PlayStation fans, for the first time in your gaming life, you have the opportunity now to show the whole entire world that you've had enough. Don't beta test this thing, man. PlayStation 5s at their best are in their rarity. If you have one, you are not a dime a dozen. You are beneath that number. You are in a very small percentage of people that have it. Do not put your console at risk. It's not worth it. Sony should have been doing this for you. You're doing this job for Sony. That's. Can you imagine us Xbox fans doing work for Microsoft?
No.
Let's give Microsoft some credit.
Yeah.
This is crazy. I've never seen anything like it. Okay, you wasn't ready. We see that clearly. You wasn't ready. Admit it. Say, listen, you guys, we got caught with our pants down this generation, but we're going to do everything we can to make it right for all of our customers, all of our fan base. Say that. Be humble. Now you said it. It's out there. Nobody can make fun of you unless they want to be douchebags. But at least you're doing something. You didn't do anything. You conned your whole entire community. Now your community is sitting up here stuck. They really don't want to defend it, but they're defending it because they're Sony fans. We get it. You made fun of simple little things, but now every time you have to touch that console, you have to get a screwdriver. And on top of that, not just any screwdriver. That's what makes it hilarious. You have to get the proper screwdriver, because then if you mess them screws up, right? This is hilarious. You strip that screw. My recommendation is this: when you take it off, leave it off.
Does that mean technically you need two screwdrivers? Because you need one screwdriver to unscrew the base as well, don't you? To get the base off to get into the console. So you need two screwdrivers.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
One's a crosshead and one's a flathead, aren't they?
Who knows?
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
That just goes to show.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That just goes to show how the Xbox ecosystem is just, it just works. You know, it's great, and people make fun of it. But when you look, I play on a console because I don't want to have that hassle of opening up a PC and taking out an SSD and maybe damaging my, the parts. They're expensive, and like New Legal said, PlayStation 5s, if you have one, you're lucky. You're very lucky. If you've paid the retail price and you didn't get scammed by a scalper, why would you take that chance? Why would you put your console at risk? And so again, just to bring up that point, the Xbox ecosystem, people can make fun of it all they want, but I can have my little SSD card, plug in, it's done. In my X, in my S, whichever console I want. I don't have to go around messing around with screws, taking the console apart. I don't have to put my console at risk. And, to me, that's just normal, something normal with a console. I don't want to take it apart. I want to turn it on, and I know what I'm getting when I turn it on, right? So that's a big plus for Microsoft and Xbox.
Yeah, it's the same. This is why people buy consoles. If we wanted to faff about with the internals, we'd buy PCs. Because PCs are better, we know that, but we don't want to be faffing about. If I want to be plugging in SSD sticks, and next thing you know, you'll have to plug your own RAM in and stuff like that next time you get it.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Exactly.
Why do you have to beta test it though? I'm so confused.
Because they're only announced it for betas.
Right, because they put it out here without anybody knowing it. Nobody knows. I think it was Old School on Twitter that put that article. I read it and I was like, "You got to be kidding me! You got to be kidding me!"
But like,
and this is I'm just
so.
My concern is just just as like a consumer. I'm not talking about fanboy shit. If Xbox did this, I would be furious right now.
So don't forget this one thing. So it's been put out there that Sony wanted to release this in 2019.
Yeah,
they wanted to release the PS5 in 2019. So if they were ready then, what did they do for a whole year?
Yep.
We know they didn't go to E3. I mean, COVID, they didn't try to do anything. So they could have been beta testing all this crap.
I think they've just delayed it. They delayed it to try and patch it up and sort of like bolt on as much as possible power-wise to make it as competitive, because they knew that the Xbox Series X was at the time was supposed to be more powerful than that. Like if you go based on these are unconfirmed reports, but they're from pretty reliable sources. They wanted it in 2019, and it was a lower power output and stuff. So they delayed it for a year, and then they've pumped it out and they've sort of overclocked it as such, so it sort of keeps on par with it. But it's like they're focused on the wrong things. Like, yes, you've got a really cool looking pad that you can blow and it vibrates, and I love the idea. I love the sort of mechanics and the way you can feel it. But that's triggers. Not that doesn't. I don't care about adaptive triggers. If I wanted to break my fingers, I would just punch them. It's not fun. Adaptive triggers playing shooter games is not a fun experience. I don't know why anyone would want to try and shoot someone or press a button regularly and it's trying to fight back while you're trying to do it. That's not fun in my opinion. I don't mind
for some games, but not all games. Let's be honest.
Yeah, but I don't mind like the one where you can like feel the grains of sand and stuff, an Astrobot. But the actual bit where the triggers fight back against you when you're doing the things, it's not nice. It's not fun. I particularly don't enjoy it, and I've seen a lot of comments online where people have turned it off, that one feature. But yeah, I'd rather have a more complete package than one really good item. Like they focused on that pad. The pad was everything when it came out, and how SSD was amazing. And but even though everything else has got SSDs, and it can't be that good because everything's got to sort of match to a bog standard PC of the time, because indie developers and third party developers aren't going to literally make these extremely SSD heavy games, which will then negate them to sort of 10 million players when they could have all of Steam, all of Xbox, all of Switch. It's just not going to happen. Obviously, the main devs are like Insomniac and stuff, and you can see where they have used the SSD, but it's not as groundbreaking and like life-changing as everyone's made it out to be. Like, I was expecting when you get your PS5, it comes out and it slaps you on the head and it heals you and you can walk again, with the way they were talking about it. But it doesn't. It's good in some spaces, but it's like whereas Xbox seems to have focused on the whole package, PlayStation seems to have focused on certain talking points, and that's it. And then they've sort of gone, oh crap, we need to sort of quick put it in a box. Yeah, but the box is like 6 foot tall and 3 foot wide. Yeah, it don't matter. Get it out there. Get it out. That's how it comes across in my eyes. Obviously, that isn't 100% accurate. It is only 5'9" and 2.5 foot wide. But
like that's the thing. Like the way that Sony is doing their thing is in a really bizarre way, because they are trying to push the pre-sales with saying that games are going to be released in 2021, and then when it gets to that specific time, they delay the game just to increase that number of sales. Like, I think it's really bizarre. And like, I would be, to be honest, I would be actually pretty angry, because the only, like, okay, the SSD, the expansion for the SSD is kind of bizarre. Okay, well, I can at least play some new games. And yeah, they had some really good games. I won't deny, I may not have interest into playing their games, but I find the Returnal concepts interesting, Ratchet and Clank beautiful, and many others. Okay, but I think it's bizarre the way that they are doing everything, because they are focusing only on a console and only on the console itself, while Xbox is trying to focus not on the console and not necessarily only on the ecosystem, but on the brand itself. And that's what I think is the most important thing. Like, simple as that. Options. Do you like to play on PC? Go on, play on PC. Do you prefer to play Xbox on console because you don't have to struggle with all the PC problems? Go on, play on it. You don't have money for console and neither a PC, play it on your phone. That's it.
Xbox is mature, man. It grew up. Xbox grew up. All little kiddie stuff that we used to talk about, and I call it VHS talk now. They're Blu-ray talk now. They've matured. They're not those little things, those little barriers. They don't care about that stuff no more. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
We grew up. We're not kids anymore. We're grown. We're grown men now. You know?
As I say, can you imagine if Xbox put out a console that crashed and occasionally bricked your console if you put it into standby mode? Or they patched their AAA new exclusive and then put out a tweet saying, do not play this game. Like, the amount of heat they would have got for that. Or they removed options like someone invites you to a game and you can just hold the button to join.
Yeah,
and they got rid of that, you know?
Yeah, it is bizarre, but again, we are not saying that PlayStation sucks and that their studio sucks, because we know the amount of talents that is it Housemarque, the one that developed Return? Like, they have a lot of talent there, and congratulations to them for being part now of PlayStation Studios. But the way that things are going on, some essential things that were being criticized with Xbox before are now just being like, ignore this. Don't matter.
Fanboy logic, though, isn't it? Unfortunately, fanboy cringe.
Like, it's really bizarre, guys. We were talking shit to Xbox when they told us that they would like to increase the Xbox Live Gold price. We made our move, and they decided to give up on this stupid idea. What's going on that the PlayStation fans are not doing the same now?
And you want to know what's funny about that? That wasn't even talking about us. That was talking about new people. New people that never been to Xbox would have to get brand new accounts. And we literally, because a lot of us, let's keep it real, a lot of us jumped the gun. We just saw that increase and we jumped the gun and we was defending it, didn't even read the article. I'm not talking about you Xbox fans. Those let me down, and I spoke highly about it. I said, look, you got us out here looking dumb, because if you read the article, it's not even talking about us. But the simple fact that we did defend it, like my man from Brazil said, we took care of people. We took care of people who didn't even have Xboxes, who would like to have Xboxes. We said, hey, don't even penalize them either. Keep it at $60. That's what we basically did.
Yep.
Even though it wouldn't have hurt us. It wasn't hurting us, but we looked at it like it still didn't make sense. Why have us not punished and then have you're trying to get new people. But I understood it. It was they wanted to go off the common sense factor. Why pay for gold when you can just get Game Pass? So make an astronomical price that would discourage people from even getting Xbox Live, and just say that doesn't make sense. You see the numbers, you're like, that doesn't make sense. I'll just get Game Pass, because they're trying to grow Game Pass. I just think, Microsoft, we help Microsoft by saying, look, we get it, but we just don't think that's the way to do it. And Microsoft took some time to look at that and say, you know what? Yeah, they're right. I just think that's the way they did it.
Yeah, totally agree.
Nobody's bigger than for correction, right? Nobody. Everybody on this earth can be corrected.
Yep.
It was weird because it seemed like Phil Spencer didn't know about it either, going by the tweets and the reaction he put out. It seemed like it caught him by surprise as well.
Right. Exactly.
Well, while we're on the topic of PlayStation, there has been some good PlayStation news this week. In terms of from an Xbox fan sort of standpoint, I am moving on, so I'm steamrolling us through here to get it, because Fabio's just letting side down this week. So, Sony Interactive Entertainment boss Jim Ryan has confirmed that the recently acquired studio Nixxes will allow PlayStation to port even more games to PC. So, we discussed this a couple of episodes ago, might have even been last week, when they announced that they were getting this new studio acquisition of Nixxes, who make sort of PC ports for like Hitman Absolution, Tomb Raider Reboot, Deus Ex, and stuff like that. It was obvious they were going to eventually do more PC ports, but now Sony have outright come out and said this is going to obviously create more PC ports in the long run. So that's great, because, like I say, for someone like me, I want a PlayStation 5 and stuff in the future, but right now I don't have an urge to get one. But odd games like Horizon and stuff I've got on PC. I love when more games come to more platforms. And like I say, look at Days Gone. It didn't do a fantastic on the PlayStation, but it's currently thriving on PC at the moment. It seems to always be up there on the sales and stuff like that. So, is there any sort of PC games you would like to see come from PlayStation? Like any PlayStation sort of games you want to see them port over before others, or any sort of ideas what they're going to do?
I'd love to see Uncharted. I'd love to see Uncharted on PC. The entire series. It would open it up for a lot of people who didn't get the chance to play it back on PS3, PS4, and I would jump out and buy it. An absolutely amazing series. Because PlayStation, we can say what we want about them, but if I want a high quality like single player experience, I mean, Sony Studios, they knock it out of the park regularly, and series like Uncharted, you can't go wrong. And to have that on PC, man, I'd love to see that happen.
Yeah, I'd like to see Gears of War, God of War, sacrilege.
Wrong console.
I know what I'm talking about, but yeah, God of War. Like I say, it's a game series I've never played a lot of. I played a bit of it on PS2. I think I played one on PS3, but other than that, I haven't played a lot of it. And the new one looks quite nice. And I am probably like 90% sure that God of War will eventually come to PC, the original at least, in the next year or so. And I would assume it'll come out like 2 months before the new PS5 game will come out, or PS4, PS5 game, just to boost the popularity. I mean, what's a better way to get more people to buy the newest, but then re-releasing the one before, just beforehand, basically. So, right. I'd love to see God of War, definitely.
Like, I don't particularly have a game that I would like to see. Maybe Ghost of Tsushima, because I think it's really awesome. But like, to be honest, I would like to ask you guys, what do you think? Do you think that Sony intends to put their games after release to make on PC? They will develop a port on PC after a couple of years release? Or would you say that they are slowly getting to release the PC ports day one when the game is released on the console?
It'll be day one eventually. I don't think straight away. It may not even be this generation, but they can't deny the fact, looking at the numbers, how well PC ports of games do with very little extra work. When you think a PC port, nowadays these new consoles, PS5, Xbox, they're running off basically PC hardware anyway. Their dev kits are PC dev kits, really, just slightly tweaked.
Mm-hmm.
They use Unreal Engine, they use this, they use that. So I think eventually, I think we're going to see closer to release date, maybe sort of 6 months or 3 months going forward. But I think by the end of this gen, start of the next one, there'll be day and date.
Maybe.
Or backwards compat, they'll start bringing out. Sony could release loads of PS2 games and PS3 games on PC. Yeah.
The irony, you won't be able to play them on PlayStation, but you will be able to play them on PC.
I'd buy them.
Be lost on people. Yeah. I think I'm with you, Ash. By the end of this gen, they're going to be a year to 6 months after release, and then I think the next gen, they'll then slowly start to transition the fan base to day and date.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I think it's really bizarre how there is an argument saying I prefer PlayStation is better than Xbox in terms of exclusives because PlayStation exclusives are only on console and Xbox exclusives are also on PC. And then you have some games that are now coming to PlayStation games that are now being released on PC, and Sony just bought a PC port studio. And now the argument is, well, at least my exclusives are not being released on PC on day one. Like, you get what I mean? Like, I think it's really bizarre the way that this argument is changing. Like, if it comes to PC, it's a good thing for the developers. It's a good thing for the game. Like, it's not a bad thing for the console itself. God damn it! This is what I don't understand about these arguments.
Because what it is,
can you help me?
Because what it is, my friend, that gaming community, and I'll be honest, because I've lived through 4 generations, that was the weirdest gaming community I've ever seen in my life, and I saw it in 1997. When it grew into 1999 and they literally wanted to destroy the Dreamcast, that community.
Wow.
When Dreamcast failed, they had no remorse. They had no remorse. It was like a bragging right to them. I'm talking about as a community. I remember going to school, all right? Because that's what we did, right? We went to school, went to college, and they were literally talking about it. Do you know that they were single-handedly trying to destroy the arcades too? And this was Sony's words. Why go to the arcades and play Tekken and Street Fighter? They had valid points, but this is what I want you to understand. Why go to the arcades, play Street Fighter and Tekken, when you can buy a PlayStation 2, buy the game and play it as much as you want? Well, that's not new news. That's old news. That's the whole reason why we bought consoles. But this is why Sony didn't talk to us. When you go back and you do your studies, Sony was targeting the generation behind us. They were targeting the 6 and 7 and 8-year-old kids when they came out. Their character was Crash Bandicoot. When you go back and you look at how they did Crash Bandicoot, he was the Mario killer. Now, notice what I said, killer. That same phrase has been going on for eons. What was Killzone? The Halo what? Killer. What was Drive Club? The Forza what? Killer. All right, what did they just say not too long ago was supposed to be a killer? It was supposed to kill something and we laughed about it. Like, really? I can't remember. It was just not too long ago. The Order of 1886 was supposed to be the Gears of War killer. Now, it's either something in the Kool-Aid. That's why we came up with the Kool-Aid concept. Why you got people that say this is not a gaming community, it's more like a cult. Because it's a mindset, right? They feel because Sony has embedded this gaming doctrine in their minds to make them feel like you are worth something when you totally give it all to Sony, give it all to us. This is why you have Jim Ryan saying in the beginning, we believe in generations, but it didn't make sense, right? Because you got 113 million people in PlayStation 4. You have to slowly migrate that. We knew we were in a pandemic. We knew it didn't make sense. So it was all about a matter of time. Like I said, what goes around comes around when you play on foolish terms. It doesn't, that That's a law that's not written. It's just what it is. The universe revolves on it. What is it? You reap what you sow, right?
Yep.
Then it wasn't long after that, you had to backtrack. But when you're real with yourself, you don't have to backtrack. Just say, look, we would love to push out the PlayStation 5 to give our audience a true let's keep it real, our standard of what we think next generation is. We're not even going to get into that, but we want to push forth, what we feel is next generation for our audience. We would love to do that, but due to certain situations, there might be some games where they have to come on both ends because we want to slowly migrate. Now, they did try, right? They did say, well, we're going to keep PlayStation 4 around for 3 more years. We understood why they said that. That's a big audience that you got to slowly migrate, right? But when you're smoking mirrors all the time, when you're always smoking and mirroring, right? You throwing up the propagandas and stuff. It's hard, y'all, to consistently do that without things unraveling. Now, Sony used to be good, and I give them props with this. They used to be great behind the scenes. Let's go back to 2013, the DRM. PlayStation 4 and Xbox One were supposed to come out with the same theories. The same exact theories. But when Sony saw the outcry, the outlash, the backlash, every other lash that you can put on the end of the front word, they said, we can't go up on stage and say the same thing that Microsoft just did, even though that was in the policy. So you don't think Microsoft knew that? They went against a code. And Microsoft for 7 years went quiet. We're going to get you on the back end. We see now what you're really about. What did Phil Spencer do immediately? We're not talking about console sales no more. Where's your narrative? See, what Phil Spencer, he's a genius. He's a chess player. We're not playing checkers. We're playing chess. And he really is a chess player. So what he wanted you to know that I'm a thinker. There's certain rules. What is it? It's called rules to engagement. Even in war, you don't blow up temples. You don't kill grandparents. There's things called war crimes. So even in war, there's respect. You see what I'm saying? Even though we're warring against each other, we respect things, right? What Sony did, they did one of the most disrespectful things, man. And they knew they did it. Understand, y'all, we were 1 year away from not ever having an Xbox again. Sony did something and they almost destroyed us. They were right. You got people on the PlayStation side that does their studies. And they were right when they said, man, we don't see why Microsoft is holding on to Xbox. It's not making money. And then, you know what I'm saying, you guys aren't going to have Xbox long. PlayStation is killing y'all. And we would defend against that. No, it's fine. They was right. Phil Spencer came out last year and said it. We didn't know we were going to keep Xbox in 2014. The truth came out. We were 1 year away from not having Xbox because Sony did a slick move. Instead of just saying, you know what, they could have automatically won by just agreeing the fact that, hey, our console was $399. That sold itself. But the fact that you lied to your audience about the DRM, because we still on the DRM, where did it go? You're always online. Who lied? Did Microsoft lie or did Sony lie? You see what I'm saying? Again, another lie. And it caused us to go for 7 years of nothing. Why would Microsoft put out all these glorious games in a generation where they could not, and it goes back to what my man down there said, where they couldn't power their dreams. They couldn't power their dreams. Nothing they could do last gen mattered. Nothing they could have done mattered. The media was always attacking them. You had the YouTuber gamers on the rise trying to build their channels up. They knew what to do to become popular, attack Xbox. No matter where you look, Xbox was getting attacked. And no matter what they did, they got attacked. So what did we say to them? Just be quiet. Don't say anything, Microsoft. You're going to release a game? Say it 2 weeks or 3 weeks before it drops. We'll talk about it then, because if you talk about it 6 months ahead of time, they're going to crucify the game. They're gonna say, "Oh, this game don't look right. It's taking too long. Why is it?" They were doing that to our games. They had Metacritic on their side, right, Brazil? So Metacritic was just like, even when they get past y'all, we're gonna have the final say so. Watch how we do this. We're gonna get all our guys ready, and this is facts. See, all the things that they hid, they're not hiding no more. Look at Epic now. How can you respect Epic? And I'm talking to you, Epic. How we as gamers respect you now? See, now what you've been doing has been has been revealed. You play the money games, and you play the money games with Sony. You see, now you wonder why Xbox went to Epic and grabbed Gears of War. Because what did Epic do? They put that great game in the vault. Didn't want to do nothing with it. Phil got hired. He went to visit, right? He went to go visit Bungie. And he went to go visit Epic. Remember the story? He says, man, with Bungie, it was easy because, they had some that wanted to break off and make a dream game, which was Destiny. Okay? Since the other half or, other percentage wanted to stay with us and continue to build on Halo, right? But he said, but when I went to Epic, he was like, hey, man, we got this game called Gears, a multi-billion-dollar franchise. So what do y'all think y'all going to do with it next? Where we're going? And Epic turned like, we don't know. This is receipts. Phil was like, what do you mean you don't know? We just kind of ran out of ideas with Gears, Feel like the trilogy is enough. And where is it? Oh, it's in the vault. It's put away. Phil was like, who puts away billion-dollar franchise games? Who does that? So Phil was like, okay, all right. We published that game. I hope y'all do know that, right? We protected that game. So we're buying that game. They bought it. Look at Gears today. 2 more series has happened since then. 2 more. Still here. Still a billion-dollar franchise. Because Phil Spencer decided to get it and save it. It was going to die. There would have been no more Gears of War. I want everybody to see this. And then they pulled their little stunt. They pulled the little stunts. And we wonder why Apple did what they did to Epic with Fortnite. And what Epic made Apple like the bad guys. Apple knew what they were doing. They knew what they were doing. Zimzabella, right, from Titanfall, got caught screwing around with Activision. Even though Activision is funny, but I want everybody to understand, there's things that go on behind the scenes. What did he do? He dissed us. He dissed us. See, it took him getting caught, Activision revealing to him, and then the game busting on the PlayStation community for him to get humble again and recognize the Xbox community took care of me. When he walked back on our stage again on our E3, we respected that. It took guts to do what he did. Titanfall 2 is a great game. Great story, well balanced, right? Yeah, we don't have the AI. He lost that. Think about how great it would have been. The second one. But he was chasing what? Those numbers. He wasn't, that was the old way of thinking, remember? Chase the numbers. He was a victim of that. He's not no more. He's not anymore. But he was a victim of that. And that's what made him scared. Look at Cliffy. What did Cliffy do? He went the YouTube way. There's 14 billion over there. I've never made a game, an indie, or it's pretty much like an indie game. But I've never put out a game by myself. So I'm gonna take a chance. If I'm gonna take a chance, I might as well take a chance with the PlayStation community. There's more people over there. Play the numbers game. What happened to him? What happened to Lawbreakers?
Yeah.
And then what was it last year? He publicly apologized to us. He went on Twitter and said, I'm sorry to the Xbox community because I should have put that game on your platform as well. But I didn't. He said that. A victim of the numbers game. And look at us today. Look at us today.
It wouldn't surprise
We're more
me.
smarter, right? We're more smarter, and I always keep saying this. I saw the tide turn for us as a community when these two games came out. They tried to kill us. It was State of Decay 2 and Sea of Thieves. Man, you Xbox community looked beautiful when it came down to that, because Metacritic destroyed Sea of Thieves. Oh, it was the most pathetic thing that ever happened. And then State of Decay 2, oh, it's glitchy. It's a bug fest. You don't want to buy that game, right? But Sea of Thieves took off. And guess what? Recore was the first game to advertise for Game Pass. But when Sea of Thieves and State of Decay went straight to Game Pass blew up. So it was like three things that happened. Game Pass survived because of Sea of Thieves and State of Decay. State of Decay 2 survived because even though it was buggy, it didn't hurt to play the free game. And Sea of Thieves survived because they're always killing our new IP games. Microsoft, let's give some respect. Microsoft is the king of new IPs. Yeah, they might not have those movie-making, cinematic, great-looking, feel-good, emotional walkthrough, soap opera, whatever you want to say, game, cinematic feeling, make you cry, make you want to fall in love with those characters, make you want to date them, because it's some weirdo stuff. I want to date this character. I'm in love with this character type of stuff. They may not push it that far. But damn it, man, we get some new IPs, don't we? Quantum Breaks, Rise Son of Rome. Even take a old series and make a new experience out of it. Dead Rising 3 is unlike any other zombie game, apocalypse game I've ever played before. Every zombie is different. 2 million on a board. You're in a city going nuts. You can custom. Come on.
Yeah, State of Decay, the AI for the zombies, it's pretty crazy.
Well, state of the art. State of the art.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You think they're gonna make me feel bad?
You should see zombies. When the zombies they creep up on you and stuff like that. Like, it's creepy, man.
He's right. You remember the light on the pistol? So you're in the dark. He's exactly right. Remember, you turn around and the light would trigger him. The nighttime, when the sun went down, they got stronger.
It's terrifying.
It was terrifying. Look at what we had. Look at our experience. And I think that's what it took, my friend down there. It took us to see, well, damn, man, I'm gonna get on this boat. Did you see that water? Have anybody played Sea of Thieves? We started questioning each other. No, I haven't. Man, get on that boat and get in the ocean. Next thing you know, the word got out. Oh my freaking goodness, man. Go look at the water. The water sold Sea of Thieves. The sea did. The sea alone.
I remember Angry Joe playing it, and all he kept saying was, "Damn, that looked good."
That's right.
Yeah.
The water is unreal. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And then when you studied it, it's AI. It's compute cloud, right? But it's never the same. And the air in the game, the air system dictates the water. Like, you gotta be kidding me, man. They put an air system in there, a jet stream, and that's real life, right? The air has a jet stream, the ocean has a jet stream, and in that game, the water elements are constantly changing because of the freaking air. Like, come on, man. Now look at Sea of Thieves. It's unstoppable.
Yeah, still topping Steam charts. I mean, it's been up in the top 10 in the last month. It still gets sort of 20,000 to 30,000 sort of average players every day. Sort of topping out, I think, this month at sort of 62,000 concurrent players on Steam. There's clearly a player base, and that's not including the Microsoft Store or the Xbox players, so or Game Pass either. That's just on Steam, so...
You wait till the pack drops.
If it wasn't a success, we would never have the Pirates of the Caribbean expansion.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, why would they make some deal with Disney, which it is of course very expensive for a game that doesn't have a player base, like.
It's just all fake narratives, and honestly, people should just try the games. Like I say, I mean, I've never played Recore. You guys have told me it's good and or at least worth playing on Game Pass. But if you just went off what people said online, I would not touch that with a 20-foot barge pole. Do you know what I mean? It's just how it is. But it's nice to see the narrative changing. Like I said, there was something in the media last week, it's just gone, where there was an indie dev saying like there is literally no negatives to working with Microsoft with the idea Xbox. They said everything about it is a positive, like the extra money, the Game Pass, the promotions, all of it. They don't have any negative. There's no sort of minus, no downside. So it's good because like a couple of years ago, indie developers hated Microsoft because they had the stupid parity clause. They had a load. They totally like we had the 360 golden days of Xbox Gold at like Xbox Live Arcade, and then for some reason Microsoft changed all that and were really sort of restrictive to indie devs. And now they've said sort of that they've opened the floodgates and said we were wrong, but they're also now really heavily investing in the Idea Xbox. And honestly, the Idea Xbox games that have come out in this last 2 years have been some of the best games I've played. I mean, look at Death's Door. I mean, I suck at it, as you can see in this video, but the reviews have been great. People are saying like Game of the Year. I mean, it's not for me, but this is just one of them. Omno's come out this week and looks amazing. We've got all sorts coming out over the next few months, and it's nice to see that Microsoft is like getting the sort of good sort of vibes from the indie dev community again, which they used to have, and then I've no idea what they did, but they lost it all completely. But at least they seem to be sort of tipping it in the right direction, and everything's sort of like the dominoes are starting to fall faster now in everything. It started off as one, and now it's sort of spreading, and sort of all of the things are coming to place. The live service games like Sea of Thieves and State of Decay and stuff, yeah, they weren't perfect at launch. Look at them now; they're some of the most active and sort of updated. I mean, State of Decay's had so many updates; it's unbelievable. Sea of Thieves gets regular updates. The gaming's free for free-to-play games. Everything is just sort of falling in the right place, which is it makes everything look really positive in the future. And it's really exciting as someone who predominantly plays on Xbox. I mean, I play on everything, but my main sort of focus for gaming is Xbox. Like that's what I play my third parties on. That's what I play most of my multiplayer on. Seeing all of this, and there is a nudge in the needle to the right direction, even online. I mean, yes, the review scores aren't the best, and some of the media is biased as hell, but it's slowly going the other way, bit by bit, media outlet by media outlet. Even with the trolls, when you look at the crazy internet trolls, I've seen some of them posting how great Microsoft has been this week compared to PlayStation, and it just makes me chuckle a little inside. But clearly the needle is going the right way, and it's just going to take a bit longer, I think. But people just need to realise and just try the games, honestly. Like people complain about Game Pass, haven't played Game Pass. If you think Game Pass is bad, you haven't actually spent your $1 and tried it for a month. Do you know what I mean? If you spent that $1, you'd probably subscribe for a year straight up. There's no reason not to. It's fantastic, and everyone I've had that's played it, even when they thought it wasn't of interest, has signed up since then. So, but we'll keep on the positive Xbox stuff. I'll get us back on track, Fabio. Don't worry. I'll keep us moving. We have announcements of the games with gold for August, which are actually decent. It's actually pretty decent month this month. So we have got August.
Decent at best. Keep in mind.
No. These compared to the trash they've given us for the last 6 months. This is okay. Fantastic. We're getting Darksiders 3.
Yeah.
August 1st to August 31st, which is great because I was discussing this with Fabio the other week. I really want to pick up Darksiders 1 and 2 again because I keep seeing the remastered ones on sale. And I just don't want to buy number 3. So now I don't have to. I can just get 1 and 2 on the sale this week. And then Darksiders 3 I'll get tomorrow for free. So fantastic. We've then got Yooka-Laylee, August 16th to September 15th. This is made by basically ex-Rare developers. People who worked on Banjo, they worked on Donkey Kong Country, classic Rare games. And this is basically a Banjo-esque spiritual successor. It's flawed, but it's still worth playing. It's really fun. The sequel is much better. the sequel is fantastic compared, but this one is still really good. Worth a play if you like your 3D platformers. It looks great. It's got a really nice polish to like the graphics and stuff, but it just fails and falls a bit flat in some of the other aspects. Then we've got Lost Planet 3, August the 1st to August the 15th. I've never played Lost Planet 3. I've played the first two, but never played the third. So that's a nice addition to my lineup. And then August the 16th to August the 31st, we have got Garo, Mark of the Wolves, which I believe is a fighting game, and I've never heard of it till this was announced, but a lot of the comments were how good a fighting game this was, and it's like a hidden gem of a fighter, so I'll be adding that to my download queue as soon as it goes live. But yeah, compared to the last couple of months, every single game on here is of interest to me. I mean, I already own Yooka-Laylee, but the other three, I'm well down for playing. They're all decent-looking games. So, I mean, what do you guys think compared to the last couple of months?
One thing that is pretty interesting that I must say, that it only happened in Brazil, for what I know, is that Brazil, the Xbox Brazil has a really big problem in terms of the America announces a certain types of games on Games with Gold, and then Brazil decides to change a couple of them because they don't care to work their asses off to try to bring those games into the Brazilian Xbox store. Okay. So here's what happened for this Garu game. I don't know how to pronounce it. Sorry about that. Like they, instead of it, they announced it Street Fighter 4. Not even the arcade edition. They decided to announce that. Brazilians complained about it, and here's what they decided to do. They brought Garu, and we are having now 5 games.
Whoa, we're not having that. That's not fair.
Lost Planet 3,
yeah.
Street Fighter 4 normal edition, not the arcade, but the base game, and Garu. Just want to point out that.
Right, Phil Dog's getting tweeted right now.
Like it's really bizarre that normally they try to change the game because it's not available at the Brazilian store, just like they did with Dragon Age 2 that was announced for Games with Gold, and then Xbox Brazil decided to the mall. Like, holy crap. But the funny thing is that Garu is in the Brazilian store. So why they decided to change to Street Fighter, I have no idea at all. But thank God it changed. So we are going to receive 5 games.
That's some dirty bullshit, that. I'm not happy about that. That's not fair.
That's not fair at all.
I pay the same Xbox Live fees as you guys. Why did you get extra? I've tweeted Phil. Yo, Phil Dog, where's my Street Fighter? We'll see if he replies.
Street Fighter 4.
Yeah.
He's going.
But it is good because like
what you're talking about.
It is good at least because Brazil does get shat on quite a lot. I must admit. But still, if you're going to start dishing out extra games, I want Street Fighter 4 as well. I want a digital copy. And while we're at it, we'll have Street Fighter X Tekken, Street Fighter 4 Arcade Edition or whatever it is, Ultra Mega Hardcore Triple Z version or whatever they call the new Street Fighters. Who knows?
Do you want to have the same shit as we have? I can give it to you, no worries.
Now, if I sign into my Xbox account and I put a VPN on and say I'm in Brazil, do I then get that one free or not? Or is it where your account's set to?
I don't think it'll work like that.
I think you just need to change your console region to download those games. I think that's it.
And you'll probably get it with the Brazilian language pack, so you won't even be able to understand it.
It's Street Fighter. You don't need to learn. You just press A to X to attack. That's it.
Street Fighter is not in Portuguese, and if you guys want to try to change the region and buy and get the game for free, just send me a picture and then I'll translate it for you. No worries.
There we go. I'm gonna try and look at that now because I know for a fact you can log into the store with a VPN. Not that you should, but you can log into the store.
If your account gets banned, that's on you.
To be fair, though, I've bought American Xbox games. I say free-to-play American Xbox games that aren't available in the UK. I've logged into a different region and downloaded them. Like I got Phantasy Star before it came out, and some other couple of other free-to-play games when they weren't out in the UK, and that works. So I just don't know if it would, because obviously it's games with gold and not an actual store item. So I don't know whether it'll register the discount. But I know you can VPN, and you can, like, if you buy a digital code for a different region and you VPN the Microsoft site, so say you buy it from Argentina, you can log in on the Microsoft site under Argentinian VPN and then input the code, and then it will add it to your whatever region you are's account and get it at a discount. Not that you should do that. I don't know if you'll get banned for it, but I can confirm it works.
Ash is gonna test it for you, and then he will warn you.
Yeah,
I got my account bans, and we are fucked.
Well, and then I'll be tweeting Phil Dog and be like, "Yo, mate, why am I banned? Because you're being tight and not giving us all that Street Fighter 4. Goodness."
I think Fabio is egging you on to try it out, make a video on it, and then post it on YouTube to see what happens.
It's all right. I'll just overlay his gamer tag over the top of mine in the video, and then they'll just block him. It's all good. It's all good. But yeah, I do wonder about that. I'm gonna have a look. If anyone is listening and has tried this and can let us know, please feel free to do so, because I do wonder that. It's quite interesting. We're going to move on to
continue?
Yeah, we'll move on to not as good news. There's been some game delays this week, adding to the many ones. So we'll start off with an Xbox game. Game of the Year, SKatebird, has been delayed by just over a month, and it's now going to arrive on Thursday, the September 16th. This was in the E3 showcase and the demos. It's basically a skateboarding game where you play as a bird on a skateboard. And basically, they've just said they've delayed it because they want to make sure, because it was a Kickstarter game as well, and they want to make sure that all the versions of the game on all the different platforms launch at the same time. And I completely agree with that. That's fine by me. If you've got Kickstarter contracts and stuff, and you've promised stuff, take all the time you need and bring it out everywhere, basically. But it will come onto Game Pass anyway, day one. So... but it's going to come out in September the 16th now instead of August the 12th. What else has been delayed? Kena, the PlayStation exclusive or timed exclusive RPG, that's been delayed. And there has been reports going around, and this is by Jeff Grubb and also confirmed by that guy no one likes on Twitter. Can't remember his name. Pardon?
Jason Schreier.
That
I was going to say Crappy Gamer. Sorry.
No, him as well. But the difference is if he's reporting it, it's not true. So this is probably true.
No. The curse is real. The curse is real. Are they well sorted?
Yeah, they're eating well next year, because Horizon Forbidden West is reported to be getting delayed to 2022. And supposedly they're going to announce this in some sort of showcase later in the year, which sucks because that game does look awesome. It's the first one was one of my favourite games on the PS4, and I really want to play number 2. But like I say,
it looks beautiful.
It does, but like I say, that was a demo, and you don't know. Like same with Halo, you don't know what the grand game was going to be. So give them time.
Exactly.
I do feel sorry for the PlayStation owners, because other than Deathloop, I don't think they've got any major games coming out that aren't third party at the end of this year now that are exclusives, or maybe indie games. But like all the bigger ones have now unfortunately been pushed back. God of War, Horizon and stuff. But they've got Deathloop, which looks awesome. I'm jealous that they're getting it a year before we are on Xbox, but we'll wait and I'll get it for free with Game Pass. But game delays suck, but it's just part of it, unfortunately. We have got,
if it's necessary.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't officially announced this, so it could change, but there's been a fair few sort of reputable sources online announcing this, so keep your eye out on that, basically. There's also been Back 4 Blood has announced their beta dates. I'm trying to get it up in front of us, but it does look awesome. Now,
Bob is happy.
Now, Back 4 Blood.
I was a Left 4 Dead junkie.
Yeah, yes.
Me too.
I cannot
Yeah.
wait for Back for Blood.
Yeah, so if you
the
don't know
game-
what Back for
I
Blood
can't
is, and you've been living under a rock, Back for Blood is a PvP sort of 4v4 game, humans versus zombies, made by the people who made the original Left 4 Dead. And obviously they then got removed and Valve made it in-house or with another company. And these guys have now made this game, and it's as close to be Left 4 Dead as possible. It looks like Left 4 Dead if it was on modern consoles and they'd added loads of cool stuff to it. So they've announced the beta. So the early access open beta is August the 5th until the 9th. And the limited time demo will then become available to everyone on August the 12th until the 16th, which is annoying because it's yet again a timed demo. We don't want timed demos. It's a demo. Leave it up. It's not going to hurt anyone. The game doesn't come out until October the 12th, but if you do pre-order, then you will be able to play in the beta, the first one. Then obviously, if you haven't pre-ordered, you can play it in the demo when that comes out. But I cannot wait. This is one of the few games I'm like day one. I cannot wait to play. It looks fantastic. It looks like it's going to play fantastic. And yeah, I've applied to get into the beta. I haven't pre-ordered the game yet, but I've applied like where I get my review codes from to sort of get a preview for the beta for a preview video. And hopefully I get in because I don't want to wait till the demo day. I want to play it for that couple of days beforehand. Honestly, it's all I'm going to play. I absolutely love games like this, and I'm super looking forward to it. And then we're moving on to our last topic, which is that Forza Motorsport 7 has been announced that it's driving itself off into the sunset soon, and they've announced that it will not be available in the store anymore after September 15th, and it will also be leaving Xbox Game Pass as well. Now, this is always going to happen because they have licenses and stuff like that for the cars and music. I don't agree with it myself. I think there's better. They could clearly do a different kind of contract moving forward, especially if Game Pass is going to become like a prevalent force. They need to stop having games leaving that are their own games. But it's going to be leaving. Now, if you're one of the players who's played it on Game Pass and you have bought DLC but you don't own the original game, if you bought DLC before this announcement was made, they've actually messaged you a code for the full game as well, which I think is fantastic. They didn't have to do, but it's just a nice thing. So if you've bought DLC but not the game and you've played it through Game Pass, check your messages from Microsoft. Either I don't know if it's going to be in an email or just like a Microsoft message on your Xbox with a token in basically to unlock the full Forza game, Motorsport 7. So even though it's not going to be on the store anymore, it can still be played. There's been a lot of FUD online, a lot of fake news saying you can't play your DLC, you can't play the game, etc. That's not true. It's leaving Game Pass, it's leaving the store, but physical copies, purchase copies will be able to be re-downloaded and played. And if you've bought DLC but not the game, you're getting the game for free, so it's a win-win. And it's currently only on sale for like 10 quid at the moment. It's a deep sale. They did this last time when the last one left. They sell it super cheap with all the DLC, so if you want to get it, you can get it cheap before it runs out. And I'm just having a look. So it says, not that it matters, but unused tokens to redeem for Forza Motorsport 7 will expire on September 15th, 2023. So make sure you're quick. You've only got 2 years to use them. Now, I do wonder, is this just a code, a download code, like a redeem code, or is it just like a way of unlocking it? Because if this is a free download code, like a key, surely they're going to be all over the internet soon, cheap, which is what I'm hoping as well. So, but yeah, it just says September. I don't know when it's leaving Game Pass. Probably the same day, but that sucks. But like I say, November you're going to get Horizon 5, which looks absolutely amazing. I cannot wait for that.
Yep.
I think it's really cool that they're giving people who bought any DLC the game for free.
Yeah.
Just so you're not losing access to that, even though you never bought the game. You've probably paid enough through Game Pass over time that you've pretty much supported the game, so they're just going to reward you for it. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I hope they do that with Forza Horizon 4 because I bought all the DLC and not the actual main game yet, even the VIP upgrade. So I'm now going to not buy the main game until it goes off, just in the hope they're going to give it me for free. And if they don't, I'll buy it. Like I say, when they announce the end of life for Forza Horizon 4, if I don't get it for free, it's not. Well, I'll just buy the game on sale. Do you know what I mean?
But there was something when Forza Horizon 4 was released where if you played or the beta or the game on Game Pass or whatever it is, you received the base game of Forza Horizon 3 and Forza Motorsports 7, the base game, for free.
Yeah,
I received that. Like, that was a good time.
Yeah, Xbox have been really good with stuff like that. They always are. So, like I said, I mean, they're not going to lose money on it because no one's going to rush out and buy Forza Motorsport 7 the last month it's available. You're not going to be like, right, time to get my online multiplayer games going when it's shutting down. They're just not. Unless you're like a hardcore achievement hunter and you forgot about the game and you're like having to hammer it, you're not going to. So,
like Ash.
No, I ain't got a chance on Forza Motorsport 7. Man, those guys online are good. I ain't got a chance. That's why I like Forza Horizon, because I can sort of go off the track and come back on. It's more fun. I like the arcadiness to it.
Dude, I'm telling you, Horizon is like one of my favorite games of all time.
Yeah.
Like, I put so many hours in that game. Oh my god.
I'm on too many hours.
Forza Horizon 5. I can't wait for Forza Horizon 5. I'm gonna play the hell out of that game. And I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna buy everything. I'm gonna give them all my money.
Yeah. Did anyone see those biomes they showed the other day? They showed pictures of it all. Oh my god, it looks beautiful.
And the best part is, since nothing says that it is a simulator, then it is a true game after all.
Yeah, without getting rid of one simulator for a proper game now. Getting rid of that driving sim scum, and we're going to get a proper arcade action game. It's fantastic. Proper video game.
I used to love the Forza Motorsport games, the track-based ones. I think I mentioned this before, but then after playing Horizon 4 and trying to go back, I just found it so boring.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Sterile and too slow, and I don't know. Forza Horizon 4 ruined me. It's my favorite racing game of all time now. I just gotta. Nothing else comes close to it.
Probably ruined all racing games, right?
I've tried other racing games, and I'm like, they just don't stand up to it. I mean, they just don't.
It's got the look and the substance, though. It's got so much content. It's got variety. It's not just races. There's all the other strange things. There's like Top Gear, Lego, delivery jobs. There's all that weird stuff. And the racing's good. You can play online. You can play offline. It's got the seasons. It's like the complete package. It does ruin you for other driving games, unless they bring back Midnight Club.
Well, let's go back into talking about Dirt 5. That's it.
Did you see they brought another DLC out for Dirt 5 this last week? It was 10 quid. It had one new track and like 3 new cars and some sort of build your own stuff. What an expensive load of crap.
They also added a new track and some cars for free, didn't they?
No, it's not an actual racetrack. No. There was some free like build your own track items added for free.
I thought they put Rio on for some reason for free.
I thought Rio was already in.
No, they put like you can race on the beach now.
Oh right, I don't think that's free. I think that's paid. Honestly,
so they added
a UFO
graphics upgrade and the PS5 controller. All the features they put that in for free.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised it's not charged. All the features of the
PS5.
The triggers and the haptics, they added all that in and they didn't charge for it. Which is quite cool.
Well, that's nice of them because they're charging so much for like 4 cars. That's why in the pack. Don't need to charge for controllers. Yeah,
we got an Xbox fridge for free, didn't we?
Oh yeah. Have you actually used the track builder? My son was playing on it, and there was just like a random fridge and loads of random stuff everywhere. It's not bad. I think Forza Horizon 4 is better now though. Their track builder that they've brought out is so much better in the long run. But I think that comes to the end of this episode. It's been another. I didn't think it was going to be this long, but it's gone on quite a bit. Sort of.
What? You gotta be kidding me! You didn't think?
I
Really?
blame Fabio.
Yeah, it's
Honestly, I'm
Fabio's
surprised it
fault
wasn't longer.
for not reining us in. You fired, good sir. But big thank you to everyone who's been watching, been commenting in the chat, everyone who's watching live, everyone who'll probably listen to this later or watch it later on YouTube or Spotify or Anchor or all those podcasting places. We wouldn't be here without you guys tuning in every week.
Yep.
Big thank you to the regulars: Fabio, Slayer, Alucard, Jinner, KY Bob, and a big thank you to our two special guests. We've got New Legal and we have got Jameson from the Gaming Couch. Jameson, do you want to give a shout out to what you do, and then we'll jump to you, New Legal, and you can go from there.
Absolutely. So the Gaming Couch is a video game news and review website. So you can go to thegamingcouch.com. We have YouTube. Follow us on Twitter. That's pretty much it.
Awesome. You were a bit shy. What happened? Talk to us.
It's my first podcast. It's my first time on actual camera.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
You've picked probably the worst place to get thrown in at the deep end here.
That's the best way to learn how to swim, right? Just throw me in the deep end and I'll start paddling.
No, we're not that bad. The deep end is one of Wilmie's shows. Y'all on one of Wilmie Hood's shows, and the drinks are tipping. That's the deep end.
God, like,
I see.
How do you learn to swim? You let the kid drown, and then after he dies, he learns to swim. That's it.
That's one way of doing it.
God damn it. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
What about you then, New Legal? Where can people find you?
We are just horrible. Jesus Christ.
You think you're muted?
You're muted. But yeah, he is muted.
No.
New Legal, you're on mute, mate.
There you go.
He is.
Doing good.
It wouldn't have been right. We ended off right? No, you can catch me on Xbox. Send me a message. The New Legal, just like it sounds. I actually got a message during this show. Somebody wants me to go in there and play some Ascent with them co-op. So I'm gonna get on that Ascent today. Play some co-op later on today. Guys, it's been a pleasure. You can catch me also on Twitter. You can catch me on Facebook. I'm in the DX Mansion on there with that group in there. I mean, that's pretty much it, man. I try to limit myself, but I also like I said, I got a channel. Catch me on YouTube as Direct Gaming, or you can just type in the New Legal on YouTube and it'll direct you to Direct Gaming. So I just want to say thanks for y'all having me on the show. Thanks to everybody that supports this channel, my channel, and everybody else that has a channel that's here today. Thank y'all all. Stay strong, Xbox community. We got this generation, man, and have fun. Just have fun.
Definitely. So thank you everyone again. Thank you guys, and we will be back next week, Saturday, 8 p.m. UK time. Tune in. We might have a special guest next week. Who knows? We'll announce it on Twitter if we get that sorted. Yeah, we'll see how the wind blows. And if you're not doing anything tomorrow, tune in to Green Pass Gaming's podcast. I'll be on that. I think it's 8 p.m. UK time it starts. I'm not 100% sure. I better check. But I'll be back on there.
Were you invited? Were you invited again?
Yeah, I'm just that good. They just needed to up that quality and get true professional on.
$199, cheaper than the cheapest console on the market right now.
Ash, they will try to force you to tell when is this Halo rematch going to happen.
Oh, we're gonna win. We're gonna win. I don't know if we will win. If we get Slayer on, we'll do well. Slayer's
the anchor.
Slayer's the only hope, really, because Fabio isn't.
Yeah, I know.
And no offense, Bob, I don't think you're gonna be carrying us all. It's definitely Slayer on his shoulders.
Slayer has a diamond rank on Halo 5, so yeah, he got this.
Yeah,
it was literally random, man. I'm telling you, I just decided to try a rank on Halo 5 after like 2 years of playing it. I'm like, all right, let's just give this a try. And like one night I got to 10. I was like, okay, that was interesting. I was not expecting that, but that was pretty cool.
We were playing. What was that game mode we played the other night?
That worked.
With the dice.
Which one?
I wasn't there
Team
with you guys
Fiesta.
the other night.
Oh yeah, no,
yeah,
Team
but I was
Fiesta. Play Team Fiesta. It's madness. Everyone starts with random guns every time they
Yeah, I love that
respawn.
game mode.
Oh my god, it's great. I've never played it before because I normally just play battle rifles or like really sort of like
SWAT.
bog standard, yeah, stuff like that. But we've started.
You don't like the matches where everybody starts with rocket launchers? You don't like those?
I do, but normally when I'm playing online, just to sort of get better, I try and play battle rifles. But
Got it. That's it.
yeah,
That's it.
I just hate rocket launchers.
The Xbox community don't deserve to hear that. Go on. That's it.
But yeah, big thank you to everyone.
Now you want to do your job? No.
Oh, we'll have this discussion later. I'm just keeping everyone here for another half an hour, just talking about Halo and stuff.
Just
So
before we wrap up, I just want to say Sensei's been in chat all night. If you haven't checked him out already, his show's on tomorrow.
Exactly.
Logic. It is excellent. I really enjoy his show. And Wednesday, my Know Your Creator series is going live for the first time, and I got Sensei and Logic on as my guests as well. So
awesome.
Show those guys some love, and then show me some love on Wednesday. Here we go.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Right, so that's it then. I'm definitely calling it.
Logic, what's up?
Right, we're gonna go. Let everyone enjoy the weekend. We're gonna go and do something. Big thank you to everyone again.
And do something.
Yeah, I'm gonna go play some games, go to sleep, like I say. But who knows? Yeah. Thank you to everyone. We'll see you next week, and enjoy gaming, everyone.
Yeah, have a good weekend, everybody.
Bye bye.
Later.